Hey, very good evening to you all. Hope you're well. It's Tuesday night, which means only one thing at this time of the season. It's League One action. We're back. We're ready to go. We are live for Portsmouth versus Swindon Town here on Fournilwritten all over it. A very good evening to everyone who joins us. Hope you are incredibly well. Good evening to Sean. Welcome along. Age Charters rejoins us after Plymouth at the weekend. Lovely to have you back with us, mate. Thank you for sticking around. Hello to Kevin. Good evening to One Rovers Vlogs. Keep smashing the content, mate. I appreciate that. And yes, Oxford is a tough game. I thought they would get more out of the game at the weekend than they did, to be honest. So I'd be interested to see what the result is tonight even. I wish you all the very best of luck. Good evening, Aaron, to his Fournilwritten all over it family. We're all here, mate. We're all looking forward to welcoming you onto the stream later on this evening. Good evening to Sue. Hope you're well. Hello to Anthony. We are keeping safe, Joe. I hope you are too, mate. To Ben, who is a member, good evening. To Andrew, who says 4-0. Raggett gets 3 to shut up the moaners who knock him. There we go. Hello to BPFC Vlogs. I'm very well, mate. Hope you are as well. And hello to Shrewsbury Town Fan TV, who's joined us. To be fair, Shrewsbury Fan Town TV, an OG member of the team, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been here since the first game of the season against Shrewsbury. So thanks for sticking around, mate. Hello to Will, who joins us all the way from New Zealand. Will, I think you must be the furthest away from Fratton Park tonight, but you are very much connected in this sense that you join us here on Fournilwritten all over it for the evening. Very warm welcome along to you all. What we're going to do now is take a look at your team lineup. But first, before we do that, let's see what the League One table looks like before we get going this evening. And it is a freezing cold night. I'm going to talk more about that later on. But at the moment, Lincoln City and Hull, who play each other this evening, hold the top 2 spots. Then it's Doncaster Rovers, Peterborough, followed by Pompey in 5th spot, who, if results go their way this evening, will be 2nd, assuming that result. Well, hopefully Lincoln actually win tonight, because that means Pompey can go above Hull, and then Peterborough, I believe, are playing Ipswich, and Doncaster have got a game against Fleetwood, and there's Sunderland and Charlton down there below us. And then your team news: Craig McGilvery in goal, Callum Johnson, James Bolton, Sean Raggett and Charlie Daniels make up the back 4. Good to see Charlie Daniels in the starting 11. Almost like a fixture there now, isn't he? Marcus Harness, Tom Naylor, Andy Cannon and Ronan Curtis. You would imagine Marcus Harness on the right, Ronan Curtis on the left, all behind Ryan Williams and John Marquis. So once again, it's 4-4-2, ladies and gents. And also, it's an appearance on the bench, at least. He's in the squad, Geordie Hewula this evening. So that is good to see from a Pompey point of view. Let me know what you think of that team news as well, boys and girls. We will very shortly be chatting to a couple of guests that have got lined up before we get cracking. Mike, what is Jacket on? He's only gone and dropped Harrison. I'd like to know his reasoning for this. There is no logic. See you at halftime with Brendan. Mike, we will get that conversation going at halftime, and we can probably discuss it at length at full time. Let's see if it's a bit of a Kenny Jacket masterclass. Aaron was saying on the stream against Charlton, I believe it was, that Kenny Jacket is a tactical genius. He definitely proved that at the Valley. And, you know, it wasn't too far off it against Plymouth, was it? An amazing fight back from the boys. I was incredibly impressed, because it's not something we really see Pompey doing too often, is it? To be honest, we never come from 2 goals down in the last 10 minutes. I don't think, if there's probably someone out there can tell me, but I don't think I've ever seen in the last, since we've sort of left the Championship, I don't think we've come down from 2 goals behind to go and draw the game at such late notice. So I don't know. If someone could tell me a game, an example. Exeter City doesn't really count, because that was kind of level, wasn't it? We went 1-0, 1-1, then whatever. But from 2-0 down to 2-2, I don't think anything like that's happened for quite a while, to be honest. I remember we came from 3-0 down, 2-0 down and winning 3-2. I think that's back in League Two. I can't remember who it was against, but definitely was quite a while ago. William Thompson has said the good ship Pompey needs to sink this cruise boat. First time I saw Robbins at Fratton Park was 1964. We won 5-0. Well, we take a 4-0 this evening, William. A very good evening to you, mate. We actually dropped to -15 here in the UK last night. That's probably normal temperatures in the state of New York, in the wonderful United States of America. I know it's an interesting night for you as well. Well, it's an interesting night here. It's during the day there, I believe, but it's Donald Trump time again, isn't it? He's in the news today But we won't go into that because it's a Pompey stream. But yeah, keeping an eye on the politics of America, and if anyone else in the stream is. Hello to Jake Parker. Jake and Gemma, I think we'll win 4-1 tonight as Pittman will probably score against us. Jake, how's Gemma feeling about tonight? Because I always look to Gemma for a voice of calm and reason, other than yourself, mate. I think you've too many blue tinted glasses on there. Chris is saying, come on, Pompey, big win tonight. Got to be 4-0. Got to be. And Ollie Clark is also going for a 4-0 win. It's in our hands. It absolutely is, Ollie. I completely agree. It's a similar situation to AFC Wimbledon, isn't it, when we played them and we beat them 4-0. I think tonight we can just keep Brett Pittman quiet, and I think we'll be absolutely fine. Let me just quickly talk you through the Swindon team news. In goal, number 1, Mark Travers. It's a back four of Dominic Thompson, Dion Conray, Akinwele Odimeo, and Rob Hunt is their right back. They're playing a 4-4-2, much like ourselves. It's Hallan Hope, Christopher Mizilu, Matt Palmer, Jack Payne, and then up top, Mr. Brett Pittman, and of course, Jordan Garrick. There we go. Panda Boys reckons. Oh, there we go. Sorry, a couple of emojis from Joe there. Panda Boy reckons 4-0 agreed. They're going down. We're going up. Absolutely. Gemma reckons 4-0. Well, there we go. It's got to be 4-0 then if Gemma says. Joe said Portsmouth team is looking good for tonight's game. 5-0. There we go. We'll take that. Bennett said it's a must win tonight. 2-1 Pittman to score against us. Obviously, don't win tonight and Jack, it has to go. Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? Hello to Richard. You got a shout out the other week, mate, when Meaty was on. He is going to join us later on this evening. A very good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Andrew will be here shortly, boys and girls. He's currently eating some food. So it'll be nice to say hello to him when he eventually joins us, but that shouldn't be too long away. Before we get cracking, we got, as I said earlier, we've got a couple of guests lined up for you before we get going from 7 o'clock. But I wanted to discuss this with you before we get cracking. So the big news today, an independent arbitration panel has upheld a claim from the PFA that the EFL was in breach, here we go, of the constitution, of the Professional Football Negotiating and Consultative Committee by introducing squad salary caps. So that is good news ahead of tonight's game. As you can see there, Pompey versus Swindon Town. If you can let me know, boys and girls, your thoughts on that. It's big news. It is big news because that paves the way, doesn't it? I mean, clubs like Pompey, Sunderland, Ipswich, Charlton to a degree, Hull City shouldn't have to abide by the laws of a salary cap. I'm going to discuss this with Retro Shirt Sean when he joins us in a couple of moments. But for me, it's something that Pompey have been battling against since day one, isn't it? And I'm really pleased that this has now been completely annulled. I mean, it's no longer a thing, which is excellent. It's great news, and it's really good to see. And hopefully, as I said, this paves the way. Anthony said he thinks they should not have had a pay cap. Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine implementing a salary cap in the Premier League. Like, how much would that absolutely kill clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Manchester City? If Pep Guardiola had a salary cap, you know, I'm not saying that he'd be absolutely nothing, but I think at the same time, you know, it's really interesting to see. Well, it will be really interesting to see how much of a difference that will make. Good evening to Barrow on Tour. Welcome along to the stream. Hello to Tom. Need a big result tonight as other top of the table clashes. So big, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So Hull City against Lincoln tonight is a big game, one which we will be keeping an eye on here on Fournilwrittenalloverit for you this evening. PFC Vlogs is timed out by BFC Vlogs. Always a bit of timing out going on in the chat. Please don't time out if people aren't saying anything rude, by the way. Should be a good night. See you shortly. Just get Sean, you take your time, mate. I'll fill a bit of airtime while you. The ledge is here. Let's go to the ledge before we get cracking. Hope you're well, mate. I'm loving the shirt.
Yeah, how you doing, mate? All right?
Very well, very well. Thank you for joining us. I realise it might have been a rush to get back, but you've joined us just at the right time because I was beginning to run out of things to say, if I'm brutally honest with you. How are you feeling ahead of tonight, and how do you think this one's going to go?
Confident tonight. Disappointed in the team selection, I must admit.
Right.
I thought he may have stuck with Harrison and Marquis, and I thought might have gone possibly 3. One's just sitting behind the 2 at front.
Yeah, but you sent me a picture on Facebook. Is that Charlie Daniels as your kind of holding midfielder? What's the
Yeah,
thinking behind that?
I thought they're not that. I didn't think they were that good coming forward, so I thought we could have played three at the back with Daniels as a starting role in front of the three, sort of a playmaker,
Okay.
and then pushing on.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. Swindon fell back into the drop zone after losing against Shrewsbury tonight. What do you reckon their chances are of going down? And what do you reckon as a result this evening? Are you feeling like a 4-0 could be on its way to us for the second time in the league this season?
There's a good chance because I really don't. I've watched a couple of their games during the day actually, and I think they're very poor at the back. We can get behind them. That's why I would have played two kind of pushing on with the centre forward, get behind them and whip the ball across. And we got to start putting these chances away, create the chances, but we're not hitting the net.
How many corners was it on Saturday? And none of them went in.
None went in. No. But he's got a reason for changing the team. Perhaps he knows something we don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't know what goes on behind the closed doors, do we? I was going to ask you, mate, this evening, Ronan Curtis back in the starting 11. Do you think he deserves that? Does a place in the starting 11 constitute for what he did on Saturday for us?
I think his effort he put in, and he is a quality player, but I agree that he needed to be dropped. Just to kind of let him know he's not the most important player on the pitch. It's a team game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Swindon, funny enough, is a little bit of a stat for you, have won just 2 of their last 13 fixtures. So does that give you any preempt of what's going to happen this evening? Or do you fear the wrath of Brett Pittman? Do you worry about what he might do to us this evening?
No, not at all. Brett Pittman had to go because he wasn't good enough. And I would put my head on the chopping block and say, if our back four can't contain Pittman, then we've got to change the back four, because he was a good goal scorer, but he's not in this league no more. And that's why.
And he's 33.
And that's why Jackets had to move on.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the most amicable of departures for him, was it? I think, there wasn't always a lot of love between Kenny and Brett, but I'd be interested to see. I'm surprised that you're not worried, though, because it's one of those things, isn't it? The ex-players always score against us. I'm thinking like Michael Smith, who's come good at Rotherham. I'm thinking Ollie Hawkins, who might come with Ipswich in March and score against us, perhaps.
I just don't have the Pittman fear. I don't think he's got the class to get past our back four.
Okay.
Unless we hand it on a plate to him.
Yeah. Even given that Jack Watmore and Rasmus Nikolaisen aren't anywhere to be seen tonight. Obviously, Jack for his suspension. I believe it's his last game. And I think Rasmus has had a child or something. But it's not makeshift by any stretch of the imagination, is it? I mean, that's a decent back four. And in the last couple of weeks, I'll ask you directly, Ledge, about Charlie Daniels and the impact that he's had on our season. Do you think that was really required in the January transfer window? And how much have we missed someone like that in what is a relatively young and youthful back four, apart from the presence of Lee Brown? What are your thoughts?
I think we needed to get someone like that, because if you look back into the previous seasons when we've won things, you've always had to bring in an old head to steady the ship, help the youngsters out, and be a ball maker in the middle and pushing on. I think Daniels is the type of player that we've been lacking.
Yeah, absolutely. And the game between, last one for you, Ledge, and I'll let you crack on and go and watch the game. But the game between at the top of the table tonight, Hull City and Lincoln, how crucial is that one to keep an eye on as a Pompey fan? And how do you see that one going?
To be honest, I'd like to see Lincoln just scrape a 1-0, so they don't add to the goals, but keeps us in touch with top 2 spot. So we're up and about.
Reckon a draw then? To get us, because that's the only real way that we're going to get up into the top 2 tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the table. Well, you put the table up, obviously, somewhere, I expect.
Should we have a quick look?
Good, but yeah, if you got a table there, I'll have a quick.
Let's have a little gander. There we go. Lincoln City at the top. It's pretty close, to be honest, between Hull City and Lincoln. I know there's 3 points to separate them. And then Doncaster level on points with 3 games in hand on Hull City. Then Peterborough there separate Pompey from the top 4. Charlton Athletic and Sunderland in those bottom 2 spaces. Thoughts on that one then? Now you've seen it.
Now I've seen it, yeah. I guess a draw would be a sort of keep the gap minimum.
It'd be nice to see Ipswich get a result against Peterborough tonight, wouldn't it? Because
they got to come good somewhere again.
Well, yeah, exactly that. Well, I mean, it's interesting. Like, are you disappointed that Pompey have to rely on results elsewhere at this stage? You know, I know it always comes down to it, but I know you want to win the league because you said that the other week, and I completely agree with you. You know, I don't like the fact that we have to look at, let's hope that Lincoln get a point against Hull. Let's hope that Ipswich beat Peterborough. I know they say we want to focus on ourselves, but at this moment in time, we really do need to be looking over our shoulders, don't we?
You do, but you don't want other teams grabbing too many points so that we get drawn into a too big a battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
If we don't break through to the top 2. But,
yeah.
I was going to say to Andrew, but he's not there at the moment. Did he ever think that a game coming up like Accrington was ever going to be a big game for us? You know, things have changed in football so much, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, there was a time when a big game was Manchester United, wasn't there? Yeah. But anyway, and now it's Accrington. How times do change. It's mental, isn't it? Anyway, Ledge, I will let you go. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, and hopefully we get all 3 points. If you fancy logging back on at sort of full time and letting us know what you think of the game, then you're more than welcome to. But enjoy your game and see you soon.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Right, let's speak to Richard. A very good evening to you, mate. I've seen you. You've finished eating. I don't want to interrupt your evening meal.
Still eating. In between.
I'll keep you very briefly because I know we haven't got long till kickoff. I hope you're well. Welcome on to the stream. How are you feeling about this one?
Positive. I think we'll get a win. Definitely get a win. So what the Ledger was saying about, Pittman, definitely too slow, I think, in this league. He's an opportunist. He might get the odd goal. But I say if we can't contain them with the back four that we've got, then I think we'll do pretty well tonight. So
absolutely. Pompey just 3 points behind Hull in second, and we could take that place off them with a couple of results this evening. How do you feel about that? And do you think that it's an important one to watch, isn't it? Hull City, Lincoln, and then obviously Ipswich are playing Peterborough tonight. Do you see us finishing the evening in second place tonight?
I think it's that result, isn't it? Hull and Lincoln, depending on what how they get on. Hi, Andrew. How they get on tonight. I think, it'd be good to see them, get a draw. I think it'll be certainly a score draw. It's not going to be a dull 0-0. I watched the game of Lincoln, from the weekend on the Friday, very dominant, against Gillingham. And, but Hull were very disappointing, on against Burton. Burton, played really well against them. So it's a pity they didn't have that little drop in form, when we played them. But at the end of the day, it's in our own hands, isn't it? We've got to win everything that whoever it is that we come up against. And as I said the other day, we got the Doncaster game, Accrington, they're big games. Oxford are on their way up as well. They're still playing quite well. So, they're just creeping up, aren't they? So, but I think with the salary cap as well, now that's been moved. I think, it sort of opens up now with regards to, the potential. Certainly if we do unfortunately end up where we end, in League One, we've still got the potential to push up. So, fingers crossed we'll get it.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you about the salary cap. I was going to actually go to you, mate, on hello, by the way. I saw you downstairs a minute ago, but good evening to everyone for the benefit of it. What are your thoughts on the release of the salary cap? And my standpoint was initially seeing the news that it does allow for teams such as Pompey, Sunderland, Ipswich, Charlton to carry on now with the escapade of getting out of League One without being sort of constitutionally bound to a certain amount of money per player. I wonder what your take is on it.
Yeah, I think those clubs you mentioned, Tom, probably got the cash, haven't they? That said, there's not so much cash around now, is there? So perhaps with COVID, perhaps it won't be so damaging to what we thought it might have been pre the challenge, when it was announced there's going to be a salary cap. Obviously, there's certain players might have been off, as you say, next season they'd have been gone, but now we maybe can retain them. So hopefully it's in our favour for sure, isn't it? It's in our favour because we've got some cash, we've got the owners, we've got the money. I'd say Charlton probably haven't, and a few other clubs haven't got the dosh. Ipswich, teams like that haven't got the money. So and the big owners. So perhaps it's going to be playing to our favour, but we don't want to be in this league next season anyway, do we? So
that's it. Yeah, I think if you look at likes of Byers, obviously coming over from Swansea, he's got a hell of a reputation. He played so many games last season until he got injured. Is there something there but he needs to start, doesn't he? He needs a few games under his belt, to actually show his potential, and maybe an offer is on the table come the end of the season for him because.
Absolutely. Well, that's on there. It's actually less than that. It's sort of coming up to 8 minutes. But Richard, you have the final word, mate. If you're around for half-time, full-time, it'd be great to speak to you as well. But how do you see this one going as a score prediction? What we thinking?
2-1 Pompey.
Okay, we'll take that. Not a 4-0, but we'll take that. We will speak to you at half-time and full-time if you're around.
Yep, take care. See you soon, mate.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye. Sorry to interrupt your dinner. Right, let's speak to Alex. He's joined us once again. How are you, mate? Loving the shirt. How are you feeling for tonight?
Yeah, not bad. How are we, guys?
Yeah,
all
we're
right,
good.
mate. Thank you. Yeah, good.
We're good. Swindon fell back into the drop zone at the weekend.
Yeah.
They're not the best team in the league by any stretch of the imagination. We did a 4-0 against AFC Wimbledon. Do you reckon the same could be in store for us tonight?
I mean, it should be. This is the type of game it should be all over. But Pompey, we do it the hard way, don't we? So scraping a 1-0 will probably be just as convincing as the 4-0. But yeah, it's tough. It's just we need 3 points. That's all we need tonight.
Absolutely. And those 3 points could take us up to second in the league this evening, Alex. How confident are you that will happen? Obviously, we've got to depend on results elsewhere. But is it a case of looking over your shoulder, or do you feel as a Pompey fan we just need to focus on ourselves?
I think at the moment we've got to focus on ourselves. I mean, that 1 minute we went top of the league when we beat Hull, I thought it's great being there, but as we found in League Two, the best time to be there was at the very last day, because otherwise the only place you can go is down. But yeah, it's looking up at the moment. We just need to win our games and then hope the other teams slip up. Teams like Donny and stuff are putting a good run together. They'll definitely have a blip, but it's just when and can we capitalise on that?
Absolutely. And your take on the release of the salary cap this afternoon, Alex? I'm not sure if you saw the news or not, but that is big.
Yeah, I mean,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's good news for people like us. I mean, it makes you think if we are in this league again next season without Jacket, because if we don't go up, we'll definitely be going. Then it's less of a problem. It's still a problem. We don't want to be in this league, obviously, but it was always in the back of my head, with this new salary cap. If we didn't go up this year, we'd be in a real problem because we'd be on a very level playing field to every other team in the league. But I don't know how they managed to try and pass it to bring it in, because you should be able to flex your weight in this league. If you get more fans, you should be getting more better players. Simple as that to me.
Yeah, agreed. And those fans that like at our club and Charlton and Ipswich, the Sunderland, those bigger clubs that in this league, that their fans deserve better quality footballers, don't they? So therefore, like everything in life,
it's a snowball effect. If you get 20,000 fans each week, even if you get 10,000, it's fivefold what a lot of teams in this league get. So I think you deserve to have the players on show. But exactly. we should be able to flex our weight, as I say, and that's exactly what I think the common sense is coming round now.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, thank you for joining us, mate. I'm sorry it's been so brief, but we've only got a couple of minutes before kickoff. We're going to speak to Retro Shirt Sean as well. Have a great evening, mate, and thanks for joining us.
And you guys, let's hope for 4-0. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. That was Alex. He's very kindly joined us, and here we go then. Last but by no means least, here he is. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Hoping for a good night tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely we are. The teams will be coming out very shortly. How do you see this one going for us tonight? Another 4-0, same as AFC Wimbledon?
I would love a 4-0. Like I said, I've got a cheeky wager on Brett Pittman scoring. I reckon it'd be 4-1.
Yeah, well, that's always the concern, isn't it? We were speaking to the other Sean, who kindly joined us earlier, and he was concerned. Well, he was sorry. I was expressing my concern, and he was not concerned at all by Brett Pittman scoring against us because he, in his words, he's too old. What's your take on that one?
Who said that?
He's old. He's
Legend,
slow.
Sean Meany.
He's old. He's slow. He's not as good as he was. But you stick him in the box and the ball falls to him, he'll score. And that's the thing. And I think, irrespective of the pace and everything else going, he still has that talent. He has that eye for goal, and he catches them unawares. Sean Legend was right. He shouldn't beat our back four. He shouldn't. But our back four give me goosebumps now and again, and especially when Raggett's on the ball, you never know.
You do never know.
Well, certainly you're right, because Pittman is going to know inside out the team, and he's going to know Kenny Jackett. He's going to know the setup, and on top of that, he's going to know how poor Raggett can be sometimes. And he might just.
Did he ever play with Sean Raggett?
I don't think he played with him, but I don't think he.
Did he? No, he didn't. Did he?
Don't know.
I don't think he did. I think he'd gone as Raggett came in, didn't he? Because I think it was
so.
Burgess.
Right, yeah, I think he'd gone.
He might have been on the bench a little bit, but when Raggett was playing, but yeah.
But I'm not saying
But,
Raggett's can't
he'll
kill
know.
him.
He's a professional. He'll be on the shoulder the whole game, and he'll be going for anything. My only concern about tonight is how much we're going to miss Michael Jacobs, and will Ronan give us 90 minutes? On par. He can do it. He's just hit and miss sometimes. I just wish he'd be more of a team player initially.
Do we know why Jacobs is not there?
He's got a hamstring injury, I believe, which is not the best news. And they were a bit kind of light on detail in terms of when he might be back as well. I think it was definitely tonight, and then a scan's going to reveal, but we haven't heard anything about the scan. It's all a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit ambiguous as to what the situation is. And what I'm loving, by the way, just before we continue our conversation, is everyone saying hello to each other in the comments. And Vince is joining us all the way from Malta, and William's here from New York State. And it's crazy how much the world is connected by Fauna written all over it. It's incredible. Anyway, Sean, you have the final word, mate, as the players will be making their way out very shortly. We've got just 2 minutes until the referee blows for the commencing of the first half. Give us a score prediction then. What we thinking?
I was going to say, I reckon it's going to be 4-1. I'm going to go 4-1. I hope it's 4-0, but I've got a funny feeling Pittman's going to turn up for 10 minutes.
Okay. And then Peter out very quickly.
Exactly. He'll get tired. Then he gets subbed.
Well,
is he starting?
He is indeed, yeah. Yeah. So here come the Swindon players. Sean, it's been a pleasure, mate. We will speak to you very shortly. Enjoy the game. Hopefully we can enjoy the game. We never know. But that was Retro Shirt Sean, who's joined us just before kickoff, and Andrew's here, and we're going to get through this one, mate. I'm excited. I think there he is, Mr. Pittman on the screen. I'm interested to see tonight, actually, how this one will go. What do you think? Your thoughts just before we get cracking?
I think Pittman's put a bit of weight on, Tom, if I'm honest. He looks a little bit more of a chunky monkey than he was before. He might be a little bit slower than he was when he left us last season, but I think he's still dangerous, obviously, because he is, isn't he?
Yeah, dangerous. There's that 4-4-2. It's Curtis on the left, Harness on the right. We're just watching it on the screen. Cannon and Naylor two centre attack. Well, centre attacking midfield, probably Cannon and Naylor's there to sort of steady the ship if said ship needs to be steadied. There is the Swindon Town lineup again. It's Mark Travers in goal, a back four of Dominic Thompson, Dion Conroy, Akinwale Odimayo, and they're right back, much easier to pronounce, Rob Hunt. It's Hallam Hope, Christopher Milusu, Matt Palmer and Jack Payne across the middle. And then the returning Brett Pittman and Jordan Garrick up top. Apparently, says Sean Lees, the legend, it's a red card happy ref tonight. It's not uncommon in this league. He definitely looks like someone who enjoys a little bit of control. There is Ronan Curtis back in the starting 11 as the Pompey players go in for a huddle. Charlie Daniels is leading the conversation there. In comes Craig McGilvery. How much did Ronan Curtis constitute for a starting 11 place after what he did for us against Plymouth Argyle tonight, mate?
I think he deserves to start, Tom. I like the guy, if I'm honest. I do like watching him play football. I think he's obviously a great footballer. He just has his moments of slipping in and out of games. That's the only thing I'd say. If he was on it, sometimes Jackets, when he drops players, it does give them a kick up the and they do actually respond, don't they? So let's hope to see that. Let's see what he does tonight. He wants to keep his place, doesn't he? So he should be 100% for 90 minutes.
Absolutely. The players have taken the knee, and Ryan Williams, sorry, it's not Ryan Williams, it's Swindon Town that will get us off and underway at a freezing cold Fratton Park. And when I say freezing cold, I'm talking -2 is the temperature in Milton this evening. Pompey playing from right to left in the normal home kit. Callum Johnson on this near side is about to take the first throw-in of the evening as the first whistle of the evening goes around the League One grounds this evening. Key night, actually, in the competition. It's Lincoln City and Hull who play each other at the top of the table tonight, and you will say we're looking for a draw out of that one. Yep. Peterborough also play Ipswich. We would like Ipswich to take some points away from the Abax Stadium this evening. Before we chat about that, Marcus Harness on this right-hand side for Pompey. He's got a forest of Swindon Town legs to go up against, but Andy Cannon is dispatched the ball.
Great
Callum
ball.
Johnson
Great
plays
ball.
a brilliant ball. Under early pressure here, Swindon Town. Harness still has it, and eventually is dispossessed, and there's a foul committed by Marcus Harness there, and Andy Cannon looked like he was away, but there we go. And it is incredibly windy. The old wind chill is making it seem nearly sub below freezing. I don't think it was a foul from
down like
Marcus Harness.
Potatoes.
Amy's in. Good evening. Tom and Andrew just made it in time.
Good evening,
Hope you're
Amy.
both well. We'll think about the team tonight. We're pleased with the team, Amy. I know Brendan and his dad will join us very shortly. They are obviously massive Ellis Harrison fans, and rightfully so. He is nowhere to be seen this evening. I don't even know if he's on the bench tonight. Ryan Williams chasing down a ball that will eventually work its way back to Mark Travers in goal for Swindon Town.
That was a fantastic chest down. Then.
I think it was Sean Raggett.
I think it's James Bolton. No, it was Daniels.
Charlie Daniels. Aaron's in, saying need to get the early goal within 15 minutes. And then,
Tom, what I would say is we have certainly got someone leading on the pitch for a change. The first time...
Does a leader encourage leaders as well?
Yeah, it does. And I think that for the first time, I know Naylor's a great player, but for the first time we've got someone... Look at this from Charlie Daniels again. Oh, Tom.
Yeah, Harness 30 yards out, drives a shot, and it's the first save that Mark Travers needs to make of the evening. That was incredibly professional by shouting Tom just as we get a chance.
What I was going to say was, I think Charlie Daniels is talking to the players, and he's continually talking to the players and encouraging everyone, which is great to see in it. We haven't had that for a long, long time.
It was a left-footed strike from Marcus Harness, first real chance of the evening for the home side. It did involve Mark Travers. He needed to get going and get his goalkeeping underway for the evening. First save that the Swindon keeper will have to make this evening. You can imagine it would be a possession-based one for Pompey tonight, as we've seen in the opening sort of 3 minutes or so. A lot of the ball. There's another ball dispatched. Charlie Daniels going long to try and work one through to John Marquis. He can't do so. The referee blows up for a free kick. This time committed by Ronan Curtis.
He's an angry man.
Who is an angry man, but he's pleased to be back in the starting 11 tonight.
Not at -2, he won't be.
Not at -2. Well, he's probably used to that as an Irishman. They're
Irish, but he's from Croydon.
Used to all sorts of weather. Sean said, I think Ellis has had his chance recently as far as Kenny Jackett's concerned. Hawula may get a chance now. Thoughts? Hawula is in. He's on the bench. He's in the squad tonight, so hopefully we get to see a little bit of him tonight.
Yeah, hope so.
Absolutely. Callum Johnson now. Working his way in. I would like to see more of Geordie Hawulu. I don't like the fact that he's kind of constrained to cup competitions, and now there aren't any more of those to be. Yeah,
I think you've got to earn your place, Tom, and maybe the only place you can show it is on the training pitch, isn't it?
Dario joins us from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Good evening to Dario, the ever present. He is here once again. And it's a very warm welcome to you. He joined us just over 4 minutes in. Ronan Curtis on the ball now for Pompey finds his captain, Tom Naylor, who works the ball wide to James Bolton, who's had a brilliant couple of games in a Pompey shirt since he's been back in the starting 11. Callum Johnson now plays a lovely ball through to Marcus Harness on the overlap, and it will be the first corner of the evening for Pompey. And you've just said, good football.
Great football, great work from all the players, everyone, even Raggett at the back, dare I say it. He's done really well so far.
Well,
Can't-
it's all
can't
positive
knock it.
stuff, isn't it? All positive stuff. Charlie Daniels will be taking this corner for Pompey with 4.5 minutes in.
Straight on Raggett's head.
At a
1-0.
freezing Fratton Park. You can see the breath of the players. It is that cold. It'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Here it comes,
But
and
that
it's not a
football's
it's
brilliant,
brilliant
Paul.
delivery.
Brilliant.
Mark Travers comes, doesn't quite conquer.
Brilliant from
Cannon
Ronan.
drives a shot, and that's deflected against Swindon Town defence.
Held up by Ronan then.
And the ball is out to Callum Johnson on the touchline. Good evening to Ollie Ward. Pompey in my bet. Come on, lads. Good luck for the stream. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Lovely of you to join us. Good evening to Rebecca. A cold one tonight, but hopefully still 4-0. Happy to be back on another 4-0 stream. We are happy to have you, Rebecca. Thank you for coming along and joining us. Good afternoon, says Dylan. Welcome along to the stream. Always doubted Bolton at the start. Think he's come a long way, just like Raggett. Is it a case of
I agree, Tom.
two players really growing into the side, aren't they?
I'd agree with that comment. I doubted him a lot at the beginning, and he's come a long way in this team. And I think with the help of experienced people like Charlie Daniels, that can only go one way, can't it?
Absolutely. Ipswich Town have taken the lead at Peterborough United. It is Peterborough 0, Ipswich 1 in the opening couple of minutes there. So good news for Pompey fans, because that means if Ipswich can manage to take a couple of points at least off Peterborough United tonight, that puts us in a good position for things to come tonight. Ronan Curtis tries to put a ball in there. You okay?
Yeah,
You've cut yourself. Have you done that?
I cut myself shaving. And
It's bleeding a little bit, isn't it? Not good. Sean Raggett now puts a bit of a wayward ball in, actually. Pompey pick up the second ball. Ronan Curtis now.
Ref's given every free kick to them, so we need to be careful here, Tom.
We do indeed. He says play on, though, referee there. Naylor going forward with Ryan Williams now. Edge of the 18-yard box. He does go wide. Ball goes in. Curtis, almost a complete duplicate of what he did on Saturday against Plymouth.
He's got to give that to Harness.
Again, went for the spectacular there, Ronan Curtis, from the acute angle. It worked in the last couple of moments against the Argyle at the weekend. Didn't quite come off in the same sense this evening.
Tell you what, if we carry on at this pace, Tom, playing the way we're playing, we're going to absolutely annihilate this. Not 8-0.
Probably won't be 8. It's James Norwood who got the goal for
9.
Ipswich Town. Back here at Fratton Park, Marcus Harness puts the ball into the box. It's only Ryan Williams who's there waiting for it. And Anthony Martin's a fan of the shape, looking positive. We are indeed, and as Andrew's just said, I don't think Craig McGilvery's touched the ball yet this evening, has he? There's that ball again. Sorry, that shot again.
But Harness is there. Look, if he chips it over the top to Harness,
he just saw the lights, didn't he? Saw his name in lights there, Ronan Curtis.
Well, he's got to prove himself, and this is the danger of dropping him and giving him a hard time. He's headstrong, isn't he? And he's very, very likely to take a chance rather than give someone else a better chance.
John Whiteside said, Sean Raggett Appreciation Society. We are both members of your society, John. I know I am. Aaron is a fan of the lovely football.
Me too, Aaron.
So am I. Absolutely. It's looking good. It's looking good. Here is a set-piece delivery for Ronan Curtis to send in. In comes the ball. Header. There we go. Curtis. It wasn't him delivering the ball. My word. That man again. Hold the front page. Hold the back page. Inside 8 minutes, Pompey are 1-0 up at Fratton Park. What a start. What a brilliant delivery. It wasn't Ronan Curtis. My mistake. Charlie Daniels, pace and swerve on that ball. Initially, the header from Marquis.
Corners and Daniels set pieces.
Let's have a look again. Marquis with the chip on. Curtis poacher finish. He spun around in delight. And it's 1-0 Pompey.
And he looked straight at the manager like he did on Saturday when he scored.
Absolutely.
Saying, this is why you've got to get me
This is why I've got to be in the starting 11. Well, there it is. Ronan Curtis, that man again.
Kenny's got a new jacket. 2
goals in 2 games for him. Could be more. And as Sean has very rightly said, retro shirt Sean, the 4-0 is on. It is indeed.
It's 4-0 by half time, mate, and 8-0 by the end.
Could be 9. Could be 9. Wouldn't be the first.
Brilliant
wouldn't be the first 9-0 scoreline we've seen this week, would it? There is a free kick there that the referee's blown up for. I think it was Marcus Harness again committing that one. But that does not matter. What does matter is that Pompey are already a goal to the good at a freezing cold Fratton Park as Callum Johnson nods back a header to the captain, Tom Naylor. I haven't actually mentioned a single Swindon player's name yet, but that is because they've had hardly any of the ball.
Poor,
Ryan Williams is working. He's almost covered the whole pitch here with the ball, Ryan Williams.
Look at this.
Opts to find Charlie Daniels, who plays a clever little ball into Ronan Curtis. Selflessly finds Marcus Harness. Is he going to look for the outside? No, he opts to cut in. And the referee's there, but so's Tom Naylor. 30 yards out for Pompey. Charlie Daniels has found Ryan Williams. He almost needed to bring that one down from mid-air there, Ryan Williams. And it's probably the first opportunity that Swindon will have on the ball, albeit at the back at the moment. We are now 10 minutes in. Sean Raggett with the header back. Tom Naylor almost wasn't expecting that one. And Cannon is now on the ball for Pompey. Inside the centre circle, just before the halfway mark. Marcus Harness chooses to let that ball go. And we'll look to impact things in a positive manner. James Bolton now for Pompey.
We don't slow down now.
We don't want to slow down now. We'll keep up the pace. It's all right. All is good. All is well. As Sean Raggett will traipse alongside the ball in order to make sure that it does reach Craig McGilvery in the way he wants it to. I know it's early doors, Andrew, but this could be the 7th win in 11 matches for Pompey if all things go well this evening. It's not bad form at all, is it?
No, apart from the 2 dips, Tom. 3 dips, actually. Plymouth as well.
And all of a sudden, we've jumped third in the league as the result at Peterborough's going our way tonight. Good news. All good stuff. We don't want to speak too soon.
It's 10 minutes in, Tom.
10 minutes in, absolutely.
Let's not jump too soon.
No, I'm just saying it's all at this moment in time stuff, isn't it? Absolutely. Brett Pittman has his first couple of touches on the ball that we've seen of him so far tonight. Swindon do have a bit of possession, but that will shortly comes to a very swift and simple end for James Bolton, who puts the ball into touch. And I'm going to have a quick sip of my drink. Andrew, your assessment of the first 11 and a half minutes.
Tom, as I said, if we keep playing like this and keep the pace up, we slowed the pace down a little bit, then we gave the ball back to them, which was a bit naive, really. We just got to playing it around like this. It's not good. We've got to be passing the ball quickly and moving as quickly as we were earlier. Get 3 or 4 goals up, and then start passing it around and taking your time. I think we need to just get on the pace, knacker them, Tom. We'll play fast flowing football and pass it around quickly. That's what we need to do. And keep the pressure on them because they're obviously on the back foot right now. Just don't let them feel at all. Trying to draw them out a little bit if we can see, but it's I don't like it was being passed across the back like that, like we're into Milan. You know, let's
They've done really well with the pitch actually tonight. There was a cover on it since the weekend. I think the Pompey groundsmen, who are a fantastic team of gentlemen, have very cleverly covered the pitch for the last couple of days. So there is not an inch of snow. There hasn't actually been very much in Pompey over the last couple of days. I know many areas of the country have seen a lot. We haven't here on the south coast. I believe we're too close to the sea in terms of the anyway, I'm not a meteorologist in any stretch of the imagination. You can probably tell. But we are a bit too close to the continent, aren't we, down here?
Eurozone, bud.
It needs to be proper cold and proper snow for us to get anywhere near it. Rob Hunt has taken a throw in for Swindon Town, and the ball goes in from Matt Palmer. First real opportunity that Swindon have had to play the ball into the penalty area, but that one's very easily cut out by
CBN.
Oh, there we go. We've had a delivery. There we go.
Thank you.
Bit of fruit. Here's Andy Cannon. Referee is going to pull that one back, actually. Looked for the advantage. Pompey still had possession at that moment in time, but I think it was decent enough refereeing from him. Here we go then with James Bolton in the centre circle for Pompey. It's a little bit of a backward pass that Callum Johnson has to retract a little bit and go and collect, but he's managed to do so. And the ball is now with Sean Raggett. Lot of Pompey possession in the opening 13 and a half minutes, but that's not a problem at all. Andrew's lucky fruit bowl. There we go. I don't know what you got in there. Bit of pear, bit of apple, a couple of grapes.
Yeah.
Strong smell of pear. I can smell the pear. James Bolton now on the ball for Pompey. Callum Johnson. Hello to Chris checking in from Italy. Chris Italy. I love that we know him as Chris Italy. Checking in. Wisemark was playing, not Geordie. He will need to convince me he does not need to be rejuvenated. There we go. Thank you for that, Chris. We'll wait and see if he can convince you in the way that you'd like him to, as Matt Palmer is working things down the right-hand side for Swindon, opts to track back and find Odimayo. And the ball is now down with Dominic Thompson on this near side for the visitors. Marcus Harness doing his best to stop him from going any further into Pompey defensive territory. That will be, it's not a free kick, actually. I'm surprised the referee didn't blow up for that one, because he has on every other given opportunity so far this evening. Here's Matt Palmer for Swindon Town. The ball is through, and this is a decent little bit of possession as Brett Pittman, not sure what the plan was there, tried to play him in, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Curtis will get things going again for Pompey. Williams finds the ball to Marquis. Could be a bit of a Pompey counter-attack on here if Ronan Curtis can take the ball with him, but he can't.
Who's behind him?
One combination of Ryan Williams and Curtis, they're not quite matching up the way you'd want them to, and Marquis is protesting his innocence as the referee blows up for a foul. He's mouthed, "I got the ball." I think he probably did actually on that occasion, but it's a free kick for the visitors nonetheless. We are 15 minutes in now, quarter of the way through this first half, and things are looking good. And I don't think Marquis did get the ball, to be honest. A bit of a silly foul to give away as Pompey were in a bit of a spell of having the ball. It does look quite cold, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. James Bolton heads the ball, and he will probably find Marcus Harness. No, he won't, but Andy Cannon gets a touch on the ball, but this is well worked by Swindon Town into the penalty area. He's got the option outside, laying off for Thompson, just outside the Pompey penalty area. They're being forced back and back here, Swindon, and they're going to have to, work the way back to halfway. It's good pressing from Pompey, good bit of defending there. I know it's not blatantly obvious anything there, but it did seem like they were being forced back, weren't they? And James Bolton's done really well there to play Callum Johnson in, who will fire a ball longwards towards John Marquis, who can only stand and watch. And actually, that was quite interesting that Christopher Misulu can actually work his way through there, but it was Garrett was caught offside there, as one of the oldest linesmen I've ever seen. Flags for he's quite old, wasn't he?
He left Cannon there for dead, didn't he?
He was well offside. He went about 3 hours early there.
Yeah, ball around Cannon. It
was a bit of a interesting one there, wasn't it? Ladies and gents, if you haven't yet left us a like on the stream as well, get us up to 100. That would be great. And also subscribe to the channel if you're brand new to this sort of thing. It's a Tuesday night here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Hope you're all doing really well. And it's a clearance down on the near side. And Ryan Williams got the last touch, and that will be a throw-in for the visiting team. Pompey with just one win in the past 5 at home, but I did mention that stat to you. Last 10 have seen 6 wins. So it shows how much the home form needs to be rediscovered, perhaps. And that was... I don't know if you saw that, but that was a throw-in that didn't even get into the field of play there from the Swindon Town left-back, Dominic Thompson. He will be wanting to forget that happened, as Callum Johnson shows him how to take a throw-in. Ronan Curtis heads the ball in the pitch. Can they break forward again? No, they can't. Swindon are back in possession, chipped down the line by Thompson, and here comes Hallam Hope driving down the right hand side. He's inside the penalty area. We'll look to get across into the box, and Naylor is there to deal with that one. And now Pompey break forward. Ryan Williams will not be beaten there, unfortunately. Odimayo was there to deal with that one. He still has the ball there.
Good foot in, that is.
It is a good foot in, and Pompey will come again. Ryan Williams down the left-hand side. He's going to work his way into the box. He's only got Marquis and Harness to aim for.
Brilliant ball.
And unfortunately, it was between the two of them.
Great header there.
And Thompson clears it away.
Ronan, great header down.
Now Tom Naylor. Charlie Daniels combining with Ronan Curtis on that far side. Now it is back with Tom Naylor. Pompey just sitting outside enemy territory. I think we've had so much of the ball in this first half. It is unreal. Only the opening 20 minutes. Here's Andy Cannon. Callum Johnson now. He's got quite a lot to do there, actually. He's going to probably try and dispatch one to Marcus Harness, but he won't. He will earn the corner for Pompey, the second of the evening. Hello
Second
to
18.
Jishan Chowdhury, who joins us. Very good evening to you. I wouldn't recommend that this evening, mate. It is freezing, but they do need to reconsider their decision nonetheless. How is the fruit? Asks Billy.
Wonderful, Bill.
Excellent. Anthony said Daniels and Curtis playing well on the left. Yeah, that far side's looking good at the moment for Pompey. As the corner is sent in, can't quite beat the first man. It's out from Andy Cannon on the edge of the box. He drives a shot. That was almost spectacular, and it was tipped over by Mark Travers, and that will be the third corner. What a hit. Struck sweetly, Andrew.
25 yards out, Tom.
Maybe
on
30 on the volley, yeah.
Bang.
He did keep it down well, got his head over it, and unfortunately for him, didn't find the back of the net, but that would have been a spectacular goal had it beaten Mark Travers. He's got something else to deal with here as the header goes in, and Raggett, it's almost a free header, actually, and that one will be a goal kick. Huey said Naylor's got to be the player of the season. He has been playing so well. It is winter, though, I suppose. Love that, Huey. Yeah, no, he's been really good for us, hasn't he, so far this season, Tom Naylor? I think unsung hero is the way we would describe him here on the channel. We are big fans. I believe you share that with me, but we're just watching that Andy Cannon
That's a great
strike back, and it was absolutely superb, wasn't it? Just a shame that one couldn't quite dip below the, well, it was dipping below the post anyway, but it was Mark Travers that needed to save that one. Sunderland have taken the lead in their game away against Shrewsbury Town. They'll be looking to encroach on the top couple of teams at the moment. Sunderland wanting to get back there. Question for you, Andrew. So do you think Curtis is benefiting from Daniels, or is it an improvement in Curtis's form and or attitude? You've mentioned about the leadership. Is he improving players now as well, Charlie Daniels? We'll let you finish your mouthful. I'll answer that question for you, Sean. Yes, absolutely. I think he has. I think it's important that Charlie Daniels is a wise head that kind of keeps the hot head of Ronan Curtis at bay, if you like. I think he can provide that little bit of stability as Ryan Williams is dispossessed there. I think it was actually the number 18, Jack Payne, who committed that dispossession.
First 20 minutes, Tom. The only lightweight player tonight is Williams. He's just not getting
I disagree.
He's not getting a touch. Watch him.
He's been a playmaker down the left-hand side.
Yeah, but he's been a bit lightweight, Tom, in the last 3 or 4 tackles with their players, and half asleep where they've come in and nicked the ball from behind him.
Yeah, this has happened a couple of times, hasn't it? We are exactly now at the midway point as Sean Raggett does a little dance on the ball. Do you think Cannon is better than Thompson? Yes, I do. I think.
Oh, crikey! Yes, I do actually. Yeah.
Well, not crikey. I wouldn't. It's a closely run thing.
If anything, Thompson was probably a little bit quicker with the movement, but Andy Cannon, I think, is far more solid than him. He's not such he's not a gun ho, is he? He's more. He's got a hot head on him because they always have gingers, don't they? But he's got a.
You say that.
That's true, isn't it?
It doesn't apply to all ginger people, does it? You were ginger once.
I was ginger, yeah. Once, long time ago, Tom.
Long time ago. Amy said Daniels seems good for us. I was going to say for an older player he's good, but just found out he's the same age as me, so he can't be that old. There we go. He is 34. Jake Parker has said 100% very happy with Daniels. His age worries me. Hope we get some youth. Nice for him to give them some coaching as well. Yeah, I agree with all that. And I also think the only concern for me with Jake, Jake just made the comment, but with Charlie Daniels is he might not win a sprint back to goal, as it were, against a youthful League One product in terms of an attacking player for, say, Crewe.
I agree. But if you look at the back, Tom, we've got people that will cover him for that, haven't we? Pace at the back that will cover him.
Oh, no, his experience, his wisdom makes up for a bit of a slower slower pace, doesn't it? Oh, that's good. James Bond?
James Bond, yeah. James Bolton Bond.
Oh, that's a new one. Let's call him James Bond from now on. James Bolton commanded the back four very well there. And Jesse, I disagree. But, well, I don't know if you're asking the questions. So I don't disagree with you. I would answer the questions and say, no, Lee Brown is definitely not faster. He is actually quite slow. And to be honest, in a running race, you'd probably expect Charlie Daniels to outpace a bit of Lee Brown. That's something against Lee Brown. It's just he's not the most rapid player when he's on the pitch, is he? We saw that. I don't know who was. I think it was. No, it wasn't Charlton because Charlie Daniels played against Charlton. But whoever it was the last time Lee Brown played, he was absolutely outpaced. I think it might have been. I don't know when it was.
Hull, wasn't it?
I don't know. It might have been Hull. Anyway, whoever it was against, there was an opportunity down the left-hand side for their team, and Lee Brown was just left in a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that situation arise. You can see the fourth official is absolutely freezing on the touchline.
So is McGilvery.
McGilvery must be getting very cold. I hope he's got something to occupy himself, maybe a book, a good podcast to listen to while he's in goal tonight, because he's had very little to do. John Marquis now on the ball for Pompey, quite a way back from his normal position, but he is on the ball nonetheless, and he finds
Ronan's done really well.
Marcus Harness. What a turn! Oh, Harness, you beauty!
Like watching Brazil.
It is France nowadays. Yeah. Cannon dispatches Cannon Johnson down this right-hand side. He's trying to go one way than the other. I don't like Swindon's blue socks. I'm not quite sure about that. Why would you have a red strip?
It's probably got to wear them, Tom, because we're wearing
red socks, you think?
Socks, yeah.
You think that's what it is? Swindon fans, if you're here, let me know if you do normally play in blue socks. I doubt you do, because red, blue, and
they play
red, black, and
red
blue.
Socks, don't they?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'll have to wait and see. Keeper kit's quite nice, though.
They're close to Washington, aren't they?
Sorry? Swindon? Nowhere near Washington, is it?
No.
What are you talking about?
Washington Red Sox.
Oh, right. Sorry. There we go.
Washing Line Red Sox. There's Chunky Boy, look.
Washing Line. There he is. By Chunky Boy, Andrew means Brett Pittman. Oh. What on earth is going on here? Why have I got Walking in Memphis playing in my ear? That's incredibly strange. What the hell is going on?
I'm not singing it.
Oh. Anyone else watching iFollow right now? Why has that just started playing?
No, don't worry about it. Let's move
on. I can't hear the commentary anymore.
Yeah,
why have we got Walking in Memphis? Ryan Williams. What is going on?
Andy Cannon wants to take it quick.
He does.
Pardon me.
What on earth is going on? Oh, is that playing on the stream? That better not be. No, it's not, I don't think. No. Oh, is that playing on the... No, it's not. I think it might be Express FM.
They'll find out.
I'm listening to Walking in Memphis. Right, Ronan Curtis. This is incredibly distracting. Oh.
Perhaps I heard my comment about Washington.
Probably. Still listening to it. Right, Ronan Curtis now is going to take this. Oh, this is so strange. I've never listened to Walking in Memphis and watched Pompey at the same time. Here comes the set piece delivery. Raggett is the first head on it.
Raggett's head is all over the place, isn't it?
This reminds me of shopping in Lidl's. Shopping in Lidl's. I think there was an offside call there, actually. That oh, it's back. Oh, no, it's not. I'm still... There we go.
You're the only one listening to it. So.
No, I'm not. Everyone else is saying that they've got Walking in Memphis as well. No. Oh, that's very strange.
It's a good track. Anyway.
It's a good track. But anyway, I'm back on the commentary now. I hope you are too. Not that it really means anything. I suppose myself and Andrew are probably
more boring than they are.
Well, but not more boring.
I think
hopefully more engaging. Walking in Memphis is nice though. Enjoyed a bit of that. God, I follow. Just can't beat it, can you? 5 attempts from Pompey, none from Swindon so far. 3 shots on target to Swindon's zilch.
I thought we were going to get to that.
Sorry? Oh, was that
It was a foul, but I thought Cannon wasn't going to get to it, and he did.
Right. Well, he did. It's a free kick for Ronan Curtis anyway. Not sure what was.
He stood on his ankle, Tom.
Yeah, he did. Oxford United have taken the lead against Bristol Rovers, courtesy of Elliot Lee. It is 29 minutes have been played back here at Fatter Park. Charlie Daniels is just stepping up to take the free kick. Jake has said
that was a bit high.
That was a little bit high. What do you think about Harry back on the south coast of Bournemouth? He does actually live down here, Jake. He lives very close to us, actually. Harry Redknapp's have been called in to help at Bournemouth. I don't quite know why, though. They're doing all right, aren't they? I suppose they're trying to get back into the Premier League. It's interesting that Harry's been drafted in to help out there. It is his local, as it were.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Town's probably his local.
Same place, doesn't it? Bournemouth.
Absolutely. Well,
it is, isn't it?
It is. Callum Johnson has been, I don't know what he's arguing about, but he's arguing about something. Yeah, he's not happy, but he's taken the throw in nonetheless. So he launches it longwards, forward towards John Marquis. Williams again.
I told you, he's not on his best night, Williams. If is it going to do, what was that from McGilvery?
Yeah, it's not a brilliant clearance from McGilvery, but Tom Naylor's made the best of it and managed to find Charlie Daniels.
Williams Daniels at the back. Fantastic, isn't it?
He's brilliant. I like a bit of Charlie Daniels. He's done nothing wrong so far.
Brilliant player.
In the 3 games or so that we've seen him play. Ronan Curtis now.
I like Williams a lot, but he needs to do some more than this tonight for me.
Yeah, we all have a bad game. He's not actually wearing any shin pads, I don't think, Ryan Williams. Tom Naylor.
That's suicide, mate.
Andy Cannon now for Pompey. Sean, it is local now. It didn't used to be. So
well done, Harness.
Well
done, Harness.
I stick with Pompey all day long. What happened there? What were you saying? Well done, Harness about?
He just took on 3 players and just skimmed past them. Look, 1, 2, and then just a little bit too heavy.
Final ball wasn't brilliant, was it?
No. I think we expected Marcus to make a run.
Harcus.
Harcus. I think Harness expected Marcus to make the run.
He did, and he didn't make the run, did he? So there we go. Callum Johnson is going to take another throw in. Which I would imagine he probably does in his sleep, actually.
People will throw it too. There you go. That'll do.
He's found Ryan Williams, who Andrew hasn't been impressed with so far this evening. Here's Andy Cannon, who chips the ball forward in the direction of John Marquis. It wasn't a bad ball for him to chase, actually. The ball is now back with
It's done exceptionally well again.
Jack Payne.
That ball's hit him at pace, and he's on a half volley. And he's brought it down like
loves a half volley, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's a lovely ball from Callum Johnson as well. Brilliant football. Marquis linking up with Williams. Oh, it's not a bad opportunity. Daniels, is he going to hit it? He does.
And he does hit
with some serious pace, might I add, as well. Mark Travers was down there to deal with it. Yeah, he saw the opportunity there, Daniels, and rightfully so. It was
straight at the keeper, unfortunately.
Straight at the keeper, but there was the opportunity there, and if it had been slightly to the left, slightly to the right, perhaps, and found nestled in that corner, would have been lovely.
That's why he's not a striker.
It's another strike on target for Pompey. Hello to Jesse Lewis, who said, "Hi Tom and chat. If the season ended now, who would get your player of the season? Most improved. Most improved's got to be Sean Raggett for me. And you're going to
Naylor.
Naylor most improved. I thought he was decent when he joined us, to be honest.
But he's been exceptional, hasn't he?
He has been exceptional. But Andy Cannon's been very good. Harness does a lot. Marquis has got a lot of goals so far as well. So
yeah, not many of them improved any better than they really are, but because they're really good anyway. But Cannon for me has been our best player for a long time.
33 and a half minutes played, Joe, and we are cracking on with the first half. I didn't mistake you for Joe, by the way. I was just referring to a comment on the screen.
Andy Cannon's got there.
Didn't forget your name. Andy Cannon now again on the ball for Pompey, working his way towards the edge of the 18-yard box. He's Ronan Curtis now, looking to make things happen.
That run again, Curtis. Then.
Almost a good ball, and it was quite a bit of a dangerous one actually that Dominic Thompson went for. He went with his head there. That one did cross the line. The line is going to say no, it didn't.
It didn't, Tom. I don't think.
Tom Naylor. Oh dear!
Just talking how good.
We've just been singing his praises, and then all of a sudden that happens.
Puts one in the Milton end.
Yeah, he put a ball across, and it was something that Joe De Vera would do. It ended up in the Milton end for Pompey.
That didn't go out. Look, watch.
Yes, it did just before he kicked it.
Oh, well.
But anyway, it doesn't matter too much now.
It's gone out now because Naylor's put it in the Milton end.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Is your game playing music instead of commentary? It was a minute ago, Matt, but we're all good now. That was Hallam Hope, who's again put one out for Swindon Town. And we are approaching 10 minutes to go in this first half. You're watching Fournilwritten all over it. Very good evening to you all. If you're new to this sort of thing, make sure you drop us a subscribe. Callum Johnson has the ball now. Looking to go for a second, and it has been all Pompey. We've seen hardly anything from the visitors in this opening 35 minutes, and long may that continue. Andy Cannon slightly off the mark there, actually, in terms of that ball. The legend is agreeing with you, saying that Williams has gone missing. It's a brilliant turn from Harness.
No, it was
Marquis who then finds. Oh my! What referee?
How is that not a foul?
That's the clearest foul you'll ever see from the captain, Dion Conroy. Crikey, it was nowhere near the ball. It's just a shove, and the liner, the liner even had to get out the way of it. That's so close to him. How did he not flag for that? It's a Pompey throw-in and distance on the clearance, and Braggett probably has more. Well, he was quite close to Jordan Garrick at the time, wasn't it? And he chooses to nod it out of touch. That was unbelievable how that wasn't given as a foul, but there we go. Dominic Thompson, as we are now well into the final 10 minutes of this first half. Mark Elliott is thinking that we need to make this 2 or 3 before half time. I'm inclined to agree with you. Here is Jack Payne on the left-hand side for Swindon. He's playing on the opposite side that it was advertised earlier on. That ball is the first time that Craig McGilvery is tested for quite some time, actually.
He's half decent, that little fella.
Jack Payne, you impressed with him so far?
Yeah, he's good.
Harness put in the challenge. Didn't get anywhere near the ball or the player, to be fair. And it was, in the end, an easy cross for Craig McGilvery to come and gather.
Who's the Swindon manager these days, Tom?
Oh, that's a very good question. I should know that. I did research it at some point. It is a man called Richie Wellens.
Oh, I don't recognise him.
I
think I made that up.
I think you might have done. Sometimes you recognise a face and then the name just kind of throws you off, doesn't it? That's quite often
you see
happens.
a face, you think there's a name to it, and often there isn't. And I'm sure Marcus has done well there. Unfortunately,
he's given the ball away, and here comes Swindon Town. Jack Payne, who Andrew's been impressed with so far. Raggett didn't really know that one had hit him. It's teed up for Jack Payne, who shoots, and that will be deflected behind for a corner. There, first real chance of Swindon Town for this game. Important that the challenge went in the end. We're going to watch it again, but it's Jack Payne who was teed up on the penalty spot, and it's well done. So I think it was who was that in there? James Bolton got the touch on that to send it behind. And first real opportunity comes on the cusp of 38 minutes. Here comes this first Swindon Town corner of the evening, and it will be delivered. And Craig McGilvery stays at home, and it's a decent opportunity there. And Peterborough have got one back at home to Ipswich Town. That is not good news, as it is now a point gained rather than 2 points dropped for Peterborough at this moment in time. I know we are not in the or even at the halfway stage, to be honest, are we, in terms of the game or the games tonight, I should say. There is one to bear in mind that the Fleetwood Doncaster game kicks off late this evening. So Pompey will be perhaps top for a little while. And then if Doncaster get a result against Fleetwood, then we will drop back down a couple of places.
Top, mate.
Sorry, second. Edit that bit out. Second. Craig McGilvery taking a free kick from the Fratton end. Interesting that the team still opt to play towards the Fratton end second half if they can, even with no fans there. I'm not quite sure.
Tradition, isn't it?
Tradition, absolutely. And would you believe it? Johnson Clark-Harris has scored for Peterborough United, which is not a surprise at all.
No.
Right, mate?
Shoulder ache.
And just been struggling with his shoulders over the last couple of weeks, ladies and gents. Everything's all right. He's got some having some treatment, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you have. You got
Just
your
doing some exercise.
you got your tablets, haven't you? You got your
Oh, we've got some
Devil's Claw.
Devil's Claw, yeah.
Ryan Williams coming forward, working his way almost down to the corner flag. Right, finds Ronan Curtis on the edge of the 18-yard box. Cannon looks to tee up across, but he can't do so. It's down to Tom Naylor now. The ball is now on the touchline with Callum Johnson, who almost gives it to Marcus Harness. And you would argue that if he'd been running onto that,
a great ball.
Would have been a great ball.
Harness was asleep.
Harness was asleep. And Callum Johnson finds Andy Cannon. And it is a free kick for Andy Cannon. Sorry, free kick against Andy Cannon in favour of the visitors this evening, Swindon Town. And I realise that I haven't updated the scoreboard yet this evening, boys and girls, in terms of the what's being outputted onto YouTube. So I will just go and amend that in a moment. If you could, watching this, by the way, boys and girls, if you haven't already left the stream a like, get us up to 100 before half time would be absolutely wonderful. As Swindon Town working their way down the touchline, falling over. The referee's not interested in giving them a free kick, and rightfully so. I don't think there was too much in that one for to be given. And
Watch him jump. Watch him
Pompey's still leading by a goal to nil. There's 4 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one, and Callum Johnson was very quick to wave away any potential free kick. Nothing more to be said about that one.
How close the players together.
Yeah, but Pompey and Swindon congregating very much in the middle of the park. Craig McGilvey takes the goal kick.
A minute silence then.
Yeah, it did look a little bit like that, wasn't it? A gather around the circle. Yeah. Marquis gets a foot in. Ronan Curtis dispatches Ryan Williams, who will try and chase that ball. Don't blame him for that. That was a difficult one to claim.
He's got to get a bit quicker at things to me. Williams got to show a little bit more.
It's Pompey throwing on the left-hand side, 25 yards out. Ryan Williams eventually finds Andy Cannon. Less than 4 minutes now of this first half to play. Daniels now finds Ryan Williams in the box. Twists, turns.
Great ball.
It's down with Curtis. Hits a shot, it's deflected, and it's wide. That was
a great ball. That is from Daniels. Unbelievable ball.
Great skill from Williams as well. I know look at that little chip as well. You might have mistaken Ryan Williams for Charlie Daniels there, actually.
No, great ball in Charlie Daniels, I said.
Okay. Here comes Ronan Curtis's delivery. Oh, it's not a bad one either, and it just trickles across the penalty box. And it went literally right across the edge of the 6-yard box. And now Dominic Thompson will have all the time in the world in order to send the ball down the touchline. And it's not Andy Cannon's best touch of the evening. He puts that one out of play, and Swindon Town have the opportunity, to get a throw in. But that was a golden opportunity there. Keeper stayed at home.
I'm sure if that's a foul, Tom.
Oh, I don't think it is. Entitled to both go for the ball there, aren't they? I would argue there was nothing on the ball from the Swindon Town defender, but neither did James Bolton get anywhere near it either. So, again, another free kick given in favour of Swindon Town. It's similar position where fouls are being committed by Pompey this evening. Again, it would be interesting to see how many more the referee is going to let slide before Marcus Harness ends up on a yellow, to be honest with you. Right.
Yeah.
Here is Mark Travers now for Pompey. Looking more and more likely that we will be heading in only 1-0 up. But there was, as Sean Meads quite rightly said, there's a golden opportunity for Pompey. In those last couple of moments. Bit of a disaster touch from Thean Conroy, and that will be a Pompey throw-in a decent position as Callum Johnson trots over to retrieve a ball from the floor. Plays the ball in. 1.5 minutes to play of regulation time, and then whatever is added on at the end. Here's Callum Johnson now working his way in, and that will be a foul and a decent free kick position, and it will be a yellow card. First of the evening, it goes in the direction in Jack Payne's direction. He's got some lovely boots on, and the referee is quickly out with the spray. We'll check if Ryan, is it Ryan? No, Callum Johnson.
He's got the spray out.
He's got the spray out to mark out where the free kick's going to go. Oh. And I quite like that, actually. It's a little snap back on the side there. And it's interesting. It's a conversation, and the referee gives the foul gives the yellow card. Sorry, whilst in
Yeah,
conversation, it is
just
a
taken
yellow
his
card.
ankles, look.
He has
Could have
taken him
damaged
out.
him, couldn't he? There.
No arguments with that one. Ronan Curtis and Charlie Daniels standing over this
It's
one.
a right-footed player. This.
Yeah, it's a nice little in-swinging opportunity, and it will be Ronan Curtis to take this one. There's no doubt about that, as Charlie Daniels has left the scene.
Unless he's going to run over there, Tom.
3 men in the swing. He's not going to run over there now. He's about 20 yards away.
Like a man possessed.
It is kicked off between Fleetwood and Doncaster Rovers. We'll keep you updated with the goings-on in that one. Here comes Ronan Curtis's in-swinger. It's not a bad delivery, but Marcus Harness was the nearest to that. It's on the half volley from John Marquis, and that was well wide, but it was almost dropping down with snow on it. David Norris.
David Norris moment.
It did. We both saw that and thought, Norris! Only 1 minute added on now, ladies and gents. These games are too late for Andrew, says Ashley. He's caught you yawning there, mate.
Who did?
Ashley.
Ashley, when you live the life I live, mate.
He's a busy man. Is good morning, Andrew.
Up at 6 a.m. this morning again, mate.
You love it, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You love it.
I'm waiting about to sleep again now.
No, you went back to sleep and got back up at 10 o'clock. Nice little walk today. Went to the shops, baked some cakes this afternoon. Watched a bit of TV, Netflix. Caught up with a bit of Phil and Holly. Bit of This Morning.
Yeah.
Watched some YouTube. Watched a couple of our old videos back, and then came back for the stream. And then he's got a spa treatment later on this evening.
Yeah.
It's not a bad day.
Spa treatment and massage.
Yeah.
Right, isn't it?
Won't be conducted by me, by the way.
No.
Won't be by me. Although I would love a spa treatment myself as well. It wouldn't be bad, would it?
You can't have one till the lockdown's over, Tom.
No, you can't. As the referee blows for the halftime whistle, and before we get our guests back on, Ronan Curtis having a little bit of a conversation with our referee this evening. Let's take a look then at what's still to come on Fournilwritten all over it. Big couple of weeks. Crewe Alexandra is our next destination. That one takes place on Saturday. Join us from 2:30. Next Tuesday night, we make the trip to Bristol Rovers in exactly 7 days' time. Then it is Blackpool that will make the journey down to the south coast to play Pompey on the 20th. Oxford United are our next opponents. 23rd of February for that one. Join us from 6:30. Then it's Gillingham at home. You can join us from 2:30. And then we will make the trip up to South Yorkshire to play Doncaster Rovers. Then it is Northampton Town away from home, followed by the big one. Portsmouth versus Sunderland is live here on Fournilwritten all over it. 9th of March, 6 o'clock, our coverage begins. And we are very much looking forward to bringing that one, as we are, for this Portsmouth versus Salford City live from one of the most beautiful places to play football, perhaps in the world. Wembley Stadium, Saturday, 30th of March. Join us from 2 o'clock. Right. Brendan and Mike were the first in. So let's speak to them first. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you both?
Not too bad, mate. Yourself? Yeah. Good.
Very well. Right. Let's dissect that first half then. What have you made of it?
Well, shocked at Harrison being dropped, as my message said at the beginning of your show earlier on. I don't know I don't know how Jackett can justify changing what was a good comeback team that actually got the 2 goals back against Plymouth. But also, I think Harrison has actually been playing the centre forward holding role, holding the ball, laying it off, flicking it off, or whatever. A lot more. Even if he does play with Marcus, he does that anyway. That is his game. He's not going to be there to bang all the goals in. It's down to the others to do that. So that sort of cheesed me off a little bit. I'm glad we got a nice early goal, and I was quite pleased with that. We don't look as though we've had to soak up too much pressure from Swindon. It's great to see Brett back, obviously. I mean, one of our names from the past that should always stay in the names, in our club's names of players that played for us and did a good result. I bet other players, but I'll let Brendan give you his breakdown.
Go for it, mate.
Hit me with it. Very happy. Ronan scores again. He's back on the score sheet, so
yes,
his confidence going through the roof, which is fantastic. And when Ronan's happy, his mum's happy, and
that's good news.
Yeah, and obviously
Pompey fans are happy when Ronan plays well, because when Ronan doesn't turn up, Twitter and Facebook turns a bit toxic on Ronan, and Fratton Park used to as well.
Do you think it's because of the confidence that he emits, like a beacon?
Yeah,
is the reason why he gets so much criticism.
Yeah, and when he plays badly and he throws his toys at the pram, that's what people see. When, for example, Andy Cannon plays a bad ball, or someone doesn't pass it to him correctly, you don't see him react the way that Curtis does, for example.
Yeah.
But the way he started for us, those first few games he played, we had Rochdale at home and Blackpool away, and Plymouth as well. We played Plymouth at home, and that first year he was unplayable. No one could touch him, and then teams sussed him out, and his form kind of dropped a little bit, and people want him to be like that constantly. And we know in League One, players aren't going to be like that constantly.
You know when Ronan's going to be playing well because he wears his heart on his sleeve. If he doesn't do that, which he's had a few games where he doesn't play with his heart on his sleeve, you're not going to get the best out of him, I think. He gives us something that a lot of the other players don't necessarily give us, that side of things.
Yeah.
Heart and passion.
I completely agree. I think,
sorry, go on.
No, you go for it. Go for it.
No, I'm a little bit I'm not slagging them off. It might sound like it, but I see Harness and I see Williams, and I see them, and I would love to see them in the mould of Ronan Curtis when he has got his heart on his sleeve, because in fact they're very similar players, all three of those, but Ronan outshines them because he does show heart, enthusiasm. Harness doesn't, and I don't think Williams does. I said it last time, I think, that when Harness and Williams are vying for one position in the team, they're better players rather than being together in the same team.
Absolutely. Gents, we will continue the conversation at full time, but thank you very much for the moment, and hopefully we will be celebrating a big 3 points for Pompey very shortly. We will speak to Brendan and Mike in just a few moments. Well, it'll be about 45 minutes time that we speak to Brendan and Mike. So let's get straight to our very good friend, a 4-0 executive member. Here he is, Mr. Aaron Newland. How are you, my son? Welcome along once again.
Hi, I feel really good actually. Very positive. Daniel's unbelievable. That's what we needed. Even though Tom Naylor's captain, we just needed someone in defence to actually take charge. Naylor can't do everything on his own, so that Daniels is just unbelievable, and he's actually gelling everyone together, which is fantastic. And then Naylor's actually doing the midfield and trying to control the strikers. Shame that Marquis is still not banging them in, but then hopefully Curtis is actually improved. I thought fantastic. He scored after 8 minutes. Excellent. But I think he needed that kick up the bum, really, from Jacket dropping him. And I think that's what he's done to, is it Harness? Harrison. I've forgotten which one now.
Harrison.
Oh, Doncaster just gone 1-0 up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I reckon...
Aaron, that completely throws out my graphic now, mate. I've just prepared the table, and now it's going to have to change. So,
yeah.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
But with the team, I think there is definitely... They're fighting for places now, which is actually improved Curtis, because he's been really, really good so far this half. We're playing good on that left side at the moment. Fantastic on that left. We just need to get it further up to get it to Marquis so he can carry on scoring some goals, because he hasn't been banging them in lately. So I think if he doesn't score tonight, I think Jacket might drop him for the next game. Personally. Yeah, because he's not scoring. So and now with the salary cap is now out the window and everything, I think Kenny's actually started already looking for next season. So when we do get promotion, he's actually looking at the players that he can get in. That's why he's got thingy from Swansea, because I think if we can actually sign him, he's an outstanding player. But I know he hasn't played much at the moment, but you just watch him when he does come on. And with Daniels as well, I know he's getting on a little bit now, but he's starting to actually start making the team up for the championship level. Long way to go. I know after this game, we've still got 60 points to play for. But yeah, I've even told my wife as well, if we do go up, I'm getting my first Pompey tattoo. Yeah, so that's
lovely.
a big statement. Yeah, it'd
That
be
is
my
a
first
huge statement.
Sorry?
Huge statement.
Oh yeah, huge statement. So I'm not saying what she said, but I told her to go and jump. Really. So, but I'm very positive tonight. Shame that we haven't got a second goal in that half, but we just got to be very, very careful in the second half now. Only because, like the other day against Plymouth, they come out and they were a different team altogether in the second half at the beginning, and then eventually they got them goals. So we just need to be high press, carry on doing what we're doing, get another quick early goal, and then take it from there. If we can get another goal in quick succession in the second half, then yeah, I think that will put the game to bed. That will make Swindon go to sleep, and then we can just take them then, and then get a couple of subs on, around about 65, 70 minutes, get some fresh legs on, and then and then just put this game to bed. Try not to look at the other results at the moment, but you just can't help it really, because with that, it's that tight in the league at the moment as well.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, where it is incredibly tight. And we will discuss more at full time, mate. We're going to speak to Richard and Sean before we get cracking with a bit of second half commentary. We will see you shortly.
Yeah, see you soon. Have a good evening, and I'll see you shortly.
Thanks, mate. That was Aaron, who, as always, we all know Aaron by now. A legend of the stream, and from one legend to another, here is Richard, who very kindly has stuck around to join us for a bit of halftime chat. Welcome along, mate. What have you made of the first 45?
Yeah, so first 20, very, very positive. You know, played them off the park. We actually looked like a championship team. I think the latter part of the half, we've sort of sat back a little bit, let them get the ball. Not that they can do anything up front at the moment anyway. But I'm looking at Daniels. You know, we spoke about him quite a lot recently. He's what you call it. If we get in the championship, we keep Daniels. I think he'll be next year's captain. He seems to gel the team together. The way he talks, the way he commands the back four, that huddle at the start. You know, he's the one who seems to be inspiring them. You know, you've spoken on your commentary as well, how him and Curtis have linked up well. You know, he links up well with Jacobs, very, very strong down that left side. You know, Bolton's playing well for the stuff he needs to do. And, you know, we never expected that, did we, a couple of weeks ago off Bolton? You know, he's like the fourth string player, you know, or fourth team player type of thing if we had one. And that's where he'd be sort of rooted. But, you know, very positive. I think Awula, I think he's going to come on second half, replace Marquis, I think. Oh. But Williams, I think he'll come off as well. Mm-hmm. I think the two of them will come off because he say, you know, like Andrew said, he's not playing with the pace that he has, you know, on a normal Saturday. And so I think, you know, them two will come off. And I think Marquis, this will be the little kick up the backside that he'll need, like what Curtis has had. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, he's putting the effort in without a shadow of a doubt. But, you know, we want something, you know, the feedback off it, don't we? You know, we want goals. You know, if it's not from him, we want, you know, the assists for other players. So, but yeah, I'm sticking to me gun. 2-1.
They're a poor outfit, aren't they, Swindon? Should we be 3 or 4-0 up by now against a poor side like this?
Definitely three. But that's the thing, you see. You know, we mentioned earlier, you know, with regards to Pittman, yeah, you know, he's put a phenomenal amount of weight on. But he, you know, if he gets the chance on goal, he'd love nothing more than to put one past, you know, Craig. And I think that's, if they get one, it'll be the only one. But we need to certainly come out next 20 minutes and capitalise and just sort of get that bit more of a lead what we need.
And I was going to say to you, Richard, if there's anything to improve from that first half, we've played some lovely football, but it's just that goals tally, isn't it? Like, we've had the opportunity to, I know Andy Cannon hit one and Marquis, and that was a little bit wide. And I know that the keeper, Mark Travers, has been tested on numerous occasions. Do you worry that this might be a sign of things to come for the second half? Didn't take a chances in the first on Saturday, did we? Are you concerned that there might be a bit of rinse and repeat there?
The same old story, isn't it? You know, as they seem to be, you know, play well in the first half, don't capitalise when we need to, and then pay the price, you know, for it. You know that Curtis shot, you know, if it hadn't been deflected, that was going straight into the corner. You know, that would have been an absolutely cracking goal. Cannon's playing well, but we do need to make the start. In this next 20 minutes, to at least get two to three, and then. But then again, what happens then? We then sort of sit back. We then drop back, and they may have the potential. So, but they certainly haven't got a win in them at all. It's just, the stats are just coming up now. We've had 60% possession. And it's been nicely controlled. But just get that finish up front, and we'll be better off.
Absolutely. Richard, thank you very much indeed for that, mate. We will speak to you at full time. That was Richard, who's very kindly joined us. Before we speak to Retro Shirt Sean, let's take a quick look at the league table as it stands at half-time. So it is all change like getting on a Southwestern Railway train. Lincoln City are at the top now, 52 points. There's Doncaster leapfrogging Hull City with 3 games in hand on them still and 2 points clear. There are Pompey in 4th. We're doing all we can at the moment, Andrew. That is with plus 3 points included tonight. And Peterborough United luckily drawing with Ipswich at the moment. It'd be nice to see them drop a couple of points as well. Let's speak to Sean and get his reaction on that league table. Your thoughts, mate?
It's starting to come out, isn't it? It's starting to become the league table that we expected, with Doncaster getting towards the top. And it's that second spot, really, that's the one that's open. Be interesting to see how Lincoln do over the next few games.
Absolutely. What have you made of that first half performance from Pompey, particularly Ronan Curtis and his sort of "Hello, I'm still here" performance so far?
I think he's playing well. He didn't not play well before, but I think what's happened is Daniels has got that left side really solid, so he's now drifting across the pitch a lot more confident, not being exposed. He's coming across and helping Williams, helping Harness, and you're seeing him popping up on the right. And I think that's added the whole dimension of the game. That flow then puts the defenders on the back foot, and you see him exploiting a lot more. And I think that's what he's benefiting from, that Daniels being there, and the fact that Daniels can get forward and back a lot quicker. Whereas Brown's solid, but he's just not fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you would change at half-time at this moment in time, or maybe just score more goals would be the simple message, perhaps?
I wonder whether we're going to ruin not scoring more goals. I do wonder if Pittman's going to turn up. But like Aaron says, I think Kenny Jackett's looking at Marquis. He's a good goal scorer at this level. He's had, I think, two seasons where he's been over 20 goals, but that's it. And the rest of his career, he's been about 10, 12. And I do wonder whether that's it for the season for him. He's got a few more in him, that's it. And is Jackett aware of that? And is that why Huula and Harrison have been tested, just to see whether they can come in and add to the tally a bit? Because we're short of goals up front.
We are indeed, and it's falling to people like Curtis, and I think it'd be. I tell you what, interestingly, against Crewe, all 3 of those goals were Cannon, Jacobs, and what's his name? Who was it? My point is, it wasn't Marquis or Harrison at the Valley. They didn't score any of the 3.
Haven't scored for a while, Sort of. It's been the odd bit part, the odd deflection, but not, regularly this season.
He's going to get a hat-trick second half.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, if he does, I'll be very happy. I'll be very, very happy. He's there to prove us wrong, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely. That is perfect timing, Sean. Thank you very much indeed for that. We're going to crack on with the second half, and we will speak to Retro Shirt Sean at the full-time whistle. Thank you indeed for that, mate. Speak to you soon. Right, that is it now for the time being. Here we go then with the second half. Pompey are off and underway, and it's Marcus Harness automatically driving forward, looking to make a positive impact on proceedings. Andrew, anything to add to what our guests have said?
No, Tom, I think it's rounded off very nicely. Everyone's got a different opinion on what's
it's
going
nice
on.
to see how things
it's
differ,
good to have
isn't
different
it?
views and different discussions. It's great that everyone seems to be concurring with each other on lots of things. There doesn't seem to be too many people disagreeing with other people's discussion, Tom. So it's great news. So look at this Harness getting on the inside now.
Already trying to get past Thompson in the area. He's apparently he hasn't given a free kick. He's going to play on with the goalkeeper, but would have been a free kick otherwise. It's good play, actually, to be honest. I cannot believe that's been given, but Marquis down the touchline for us. Maybe it's just a matter of opinion between the lino on that side and over here on this side. But there we go. Right, we are just cracking on with this second half. If you're just joining us, very warm welcome along. Hope you're having a lovely evening. It's not going to be a warm evening for you because it's absolutely freezing. But thank you for joining us nonetheless. If you haven't left the stream a like already, please make sure you do so. Also, if you're brand new to this sort of thing, subscribe, because we are here all season for you here on Fournilwrittenalloverit, and we've just passed the 100 like mark. So thank you very much indeed for that. Sean Raggett.
When's the Bristol Rovers game, Tom?
Next Tuesday, this time next week.
What's Saturday then?
Crew away.
Right, that might be a game we might not be at, I think.
We might not be at.
Well, temperature's going to drop to -8 on Thursday. Crew is right in the northwest, isn't it? Near Liverpool. There's a lot of snow, a lot of cold, a lot of bad weather up that way coming in the next couple of days. So
covers exist.
They do, but that doesn't stop -8 degrees, does it?
It doesn't.
So let's prepare ourselves for not being here on Saturday. But if not, we're back on Tuesday anyway.
Well, it'll be away anyway.
Rovers,
yes,
and that's not the best ground in bad weather.
To be honest, it is League One, and none of them are.
Apart from ours.
Ours is a wonderful ground.
Ours and Charlton.
Well, staying with light's not bad either, is it? I suppose Pullman Road's all right.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's
Peterborough's all right. To be fair.
Yeah, we like a bit of Peterborough. Good memories
don't like
there.
A bit of Peterborough. We just keep going there winning.
Well, exactly. Be lovely if we could do that later on this season, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That is still another big game to play. Right, John Marquis now looking to make an impact on things, and he does do well. And the referee's going to play on a bit of an advantage here, and he can't make that pay as the ball doesn't quite reach Marcus Harness. Hello from a Spurs fan. How is Harvey White doing? Haven't seen an awful lot of him, to be honest with you, Rune, and not a lot of time in the last couple of weeks, but we are very lucky to have him. If you're new around here, by the way, make sure you subscribe. We'll keep you updated on Harvey White's progress. Be interested. He is on the bench tonight, so be interested to see if he's involved at all.
Probably get 15 at the end, won't he?
He will, and I'd like to see him make a positive impact on proceedings, because we'd like to see him do well here. But great recruitment from our point of view, and apparently Spurs fans. I don't know if you can tell us a little bit more, but from the ones I've spoken to and Spurs fans that I'm friends with, they are very much singing his praises, and they'd like to see him do well, and if he can be loaned out, gain a bit of experience, and then come back to them, and like to see where things go for him in his career. Back at Fratton Park, here we are then. Crew Alexandra working forward. It's a shot, and it's not a bad strike from Jack Payne, who has easily been Crew Alexandra? That's next week. Swindon Town's best player of the evening so far.
The only player they've got, Tom.
Well, we know of a certain Pittman, don't we?
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything, has he? Have you heard Pittman touch the ball tonight?
Well, he's touched it once or twice,
The danger is he won't touch it until he pops it in the net.
Can I ask if you will be up for taking over for just a couple of moments? Is that all right?
Yeah, I can't say an awful lot, Tom, 'cause I don't know a lot. But
I need to go and use the facilities.
You go use facilities.
I shall.
I'll keep watching. What I'll
please
do
keep
is
watching.
I will.
But make sure you talk for the whole. I tell you what. Let's get everyone in the stream at this moment in time. Tell us where you're tuning in from this evening, boys and girls. And Andrew's going to read, as they pop up here, read them off and say hello to people who are joining us.
Top,
right?
top, they come up at the top or the bottom?
They'll come up from the bottom, and you just read them out as much as you can. People,
Jason's from
go
Chapel,
for it.
looks like.
No, that's not it. That's his name.
Oh,
read the comments underneath. There you go. Already. Hopefully, one will pop up in a second. I just want to make sure that it does refresh, because I should be sat here with nothing to look at. It's not coming yet. There you go. Right, off we go. I'm going.
Barcelona. Mark Lander has come. Barcelona. Got Sean Meads from Bulgaria. Yes, Littlehampton, Chichester, Slough, Fareham again. Oh, Carl Ware's next to Stephen Day, both from Fareham, interestingly. Rushton, Amy. Yeah, we know you're from Rushton, Amy, which is, I think, near Northampton somewhere, isn't it? Woody from Frosty, Bexhill on the Sea. Oh, hang on. Now, somehow it's not syncing up, guys, so I'm going to have to move into Tom's chair. Take over for a minute. Here comes Harness on the outside. He's going to the right wings just outside. Oh, bad ball in from Harness. Poor ball from Harness. Ronan Curtis down right-hand side, left-hand side. Charlie Daniels overlaps him. Great ball in, no one there. Naylor. He's going to give it out to Harness, I think. Nor's behind him. Harness is. This is a poor Swindon side, guys. A very, very poor Swindon side. We have got to make the most of this tonight. We've got to get 3 or 4 past them, get some goal tallies up, I think. Andrew Prank Tom. Sam Polo. Bogota. Cam's Golf Course, Andrew. Carl Wayne, I'm sure I've seen you at Cam's Golf Course. Tom, a lot of people, Argyle fan, how are you getting on?
Yeah.
It hasn't come up on there. It's just...
Oh, because it stopped. You probably touched the mouse, did you?
I didn't touch anything.
Swap over then, son.
We've Gosport, Wallingford.
Oh, we're going to sit there, right?
Yeah, you get in there and read them out because everyone's put them up there, and it's not. I didn't above below Jason there.
Wallingford, Argyle fan, how you getting on? Cam's Golf Course, Andrew.
I doubt it. I don't play golf. I know where Cam's Golf Course is. This is Fareham, but I haven't.
Hello to Greg Lovelock. What a surname that is. Swindon supporter watching your stream. Greg, if you're new, mate, subscribe, and we'll bring you the reverse fixture later on in the season as well.
I think Greg will agree that is a very poor Swindon side.
It is, and he can't believe we're only up 1-0. Philip joins us from Arizona. Good evening to you. Hope you're well. Right, 52.5 minutes has been played in this one. Anything to report on so far, Andrew?
Not really.
And big news, Peterborough United have taken the lead against Ipswich Town. Here comes Pompey now at Fratton Park. Tom Naylor's ball is just ahead of Ronan Curtis. Hello to Mark Green, who joins us from Machili Selsey. Where's that?
Where? Selsey.
Selsey, whereabouts is Selsey?
Near Bognor.
Oh, that's a dangerous ball. Dangerous ball. Isaac says, I need to win, otherwise I'll get stick from all my mates live near Swindon. Isaac, I don't know what you want to change. The fact your mates or the fact that you live near Swindon?
I think both of them, mate.
One of them's got to change. Well, he might be with a really nice group of lads. You never know. It's a superb opportunity there.
Just took it off his head. Look, that defender is just...
Yeah, it's a brilliant ball from Curtis.
Has it gone out for a corner?
No, it touched Marquis last. Yeah. Not a bad opportunity, that one. Not a bad opportunity. Hello to Stephen Benita from Littlehampton. That is not far from Fratton Park. I bet it's absolutely freezing there this evening.
Fratton Park, Tom, isn't it?
Not too far, Littlehampton.
I bet it's an hour and a quarter, hour and a half.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, not far.
You don't go that far east.
People joining us from New Zealand, mate. That's far. Oh, Shrewsbury have equalised against Sunderland. It is now Shrewsbury Town 1, Sunderland 1. Good evening to Nathan. Big game tonight, lads. Should be winning 3 or 4, but disappointing that Peterborough scored. Yeah. Yeah, we're not happy about that either, Nathan, because that does sort of displace us in the table slightly. Hopefully, Ipswich can pull things back there. Still plenty of time to go. Hello to Chris from Barbados, who is another long-term viewer of the show. And I bet the weather is not -2 or 3 in Barbados this evening, Chris, or this afternoon. It will be for you. There is no snow in Dorset this evening, Joe. It's we got a little bit of a sprinkle overnight last night, didn't we? But nothing too dissimilar from the state of play in Pompey, from what I have been told.
We're only half an hour away.
Well, absolutely. David said early goal today. Do you think it's a good sign for the upcoming games? It's a great question from David Santiago Real. I'm not sure if that's the team you support or your surname, David, but there we go. -2 in the fridge. That's about as close as you get. Hello from Highbury. Good evening, Howard. Hope you're well. Joining us from the capital this evening.
No, Highbury in North End, near North End in Liverpool.
Portsmouth, near Highbury College. Sorry, I thought you meant Highbury as in Arsenal Highbury. My apologies. Could be Highbury Arsenal, perhaps.
Well, let's find out. Howard, is it?
Let us know.
It North London or North Portsmouth?
Well, we'll find out very shortly.
Close.
I'm so excited to find out. 55.5 minutes has been played. That was not sarcasm, by the way, Howard. I'm looking forward to finding out that. He's probably a Pompey fan, so I'm guessing it will be Highbury as in near Highbury College. Here is Callum Johnson now. And David Santiago Real, that is his surname.
Santiago Real?
Real. It's a wonderful surname, David.
That's a city, a Royal Santiago, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a team called Real Santiago.
So is that South African, South American heritage, David, or Spanish, or what's going on there? Tom Naylor, I realise we ask quite personal questions to the viewers, don't we?
Are you married?
How many kids do you have? What do you think about the salary cap? Yeah, we were speaking about that at half time and before the game, but it's positive news, and it's something that should never have happened in the first place, should it? But I think Pompey were opposed to it since day one, so it's all good news. It's all good news.
We're asking personal questions, Tom. We didn't ask Amy, but she told us she's 34.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. Anyway, ball's laid off now for Callum Johnson to swing a left foot at, hope and hit on that occasion.
This is all right, though.
Not too bad, is it? Has it been a positive sort of first?
I think it's...
and it's George Byers and Ellis Harrison who are being readied on the near touchline, ladies and gents.
It's got to be Williams. If Williams don't go, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Here comes Swindon Town. They found a little bit of space, but Pompey players slowly but surely close them down, and Tom Naylor eventually turns his back and prevents the cross from proceeding any further into the box. Here's Jordan Garrick on the left-hand side, but again, Charlie Daniels, a stalwart in defence, manages to get that one away, and John Marquis has laid that one off.
As the game goes on, they're feeling more and more confident, Swindon, about getting one back. They can't believe they're only 1-0 down. And I think that's given them all the confidence the last 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This
is very much battened down the hatches right now, isn't it? In terms of,
but they're just having a little bit of.
Oh my word! It's a shot that Craig McGilvery was nowhere near.
That's going in the bottom net. If it's on target, it's going
almost clipped the post, didn't it? There we go.
McGilvery didn't even move. Watch it.
Yeah. Oh, it did hit the post. My word.
We can't. This is the point I was making earlier. We should be 3 or 4-0 up. As long as the game goes on,
Harness coming off for George Byers.
Well, I don't think that's a bad shout, Tom, because he hasn't done
Harness, and John Marquis is leaving the field as well.
Quite interesting.
That is interesting. Interesting to see. I probably would have gone Williams instead of Harness, to be honest.
Exactly what Retro was saying, isn't it, earlier?
Again, Harrison, for some reason, not wearing any shin pads.
It's cool.
He is quite a cool dude. And John Marquis immediately pops a coat on, goes and takes a seat in the nice warm south stand, but I can imagine it's not very warm tonight. Interesting on those substitutions, boys and girls. I'm not sure if anyone has any strong opinions on that one. Right, Pompey still do have the lead, though. It's almost an hour gone in this one, and Raggett has put a good tackle in. He's actually won a free kick.
It's a great bit of work from Raggett there, mate, to be fair to him. I know we bash him a bit sometimes, but he does do some good work like that. That's the thing is he's fearless, isn't he? Completely fearless.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, as I say, the hour mark is approaching. Sean Raggett looking battered and bruised from battle this evening. It's time to score, and hopefully that'll be just what Pompey do in the next couple of moments. So Retro Shirt Sean said he's getting worried. He cannot afford, we cannot afford to concede. No, we can't, because we want to keep that clean sheet, and also
well done, Cannon.
Cannon's done well to win that one for Pompey, and Charlie Daniels is looking for the ball. It's behind you, Daniels. Oh no, it's not. It's going to
stand lower.
Yes, well, there was one behind him. That's why I said it's behind you. We are far from Panto season. There is the 60-minute mark we have now crossed. Charlie Daniels nodding his head to the side just to indicate where he's going to go. Ellis Harrison is battling away. George Byers with his first little piece of action, and Williams, not lucky to still be on the pitch, but surprised that he is still on the pitch. Ryan Williams now, again, finds Ronan Curtis, takes a lovely first touch, actually, and has got options to the left. He opts to come in field, and George Byers will lay it off to Tom Naylor, who puts the ball straight to Ellis Harrison, whose touch wasn't brilliant, and he's lost out there, Ellis Harrison. I'm going to watch him like a hawk, because we'll be speaking to Brendan and Mike at the end of the game, and I want to know how many balls Harrison wins as opposed to how many Marquis wins. We will wait and see. But Sean Raggett
has done very well there, hasn't he?
From a very poor touch initially, he escaped out of jail there.
He did indeed. The ball is all the way back with Mark Travers now.
Much more luck than judgment, I think, Tom. That
perhaps. Right, here we go. David Santiago Real has come back in. He's from Colombia in South America. He likes to support Pompey. Can't watch the games, but I enjoy to find out about the team performance on your live streams. David Santiago Real, you are a legend, mate. And a very warm welcome along to the Fournilwrittenalloverit crew. It is one of the best crews to be in. And you are a very warm... well, it's probably a warmer welcome than it is right now here in the freezing cold south of England. I would imagine if you're from Colombia, are you living in England? Sorry to be so encroaching on your personal life. But if you are in Colombia right now, then I'm assured that it is probably nice and warm where you are. A lot warmer than where we are. Here is Andy Cannon working his way down the left-hand side now. It's brilliant pick out to Tom Naylor, edge of the box, about 25, 30 yards out. Ronan Curtis takes the cross on second time, and if Ellis Harrison can get the right side of his man.
Right side of the man, isn't he?
Can't do so. Hello to Robert. Welcome along.
Move quicker than that, Harrison.
You've got to move quicker than that. And here is
Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels is superb. Harrison touches it down. That is a good win there. Tick one off the box. Here comes Callum Johnson now, working his way towards the edge of the box. Lays it off to Cannon, to Ryan Williams, sorry. Oh, that's got to be a penalty.
Yes,
automatically points to the spot. That, all day long, there is 100% certainty that that was a penalty.
Is he going to send him off?
No, he's not going to send him off, but it was a shove in the box, and he'll probably give him a card for that. It was brilliant from Ryan Williams, and it was a stone wall. Look at that. Nowhere near the ball. It's such a lazy challenge from Dominic Thompson. It's got to be a penalty from the referee. And I believe it's going to be Ellis Harrison who will step up and take it.
Oh, this guy's really wounded.
He's not wounded at all. He's just conceded a penalty. And if Ellis Harrison skies this one, I will be absolutely distraught.
Did the twins, Brendan and his dad, did they say they liked Harrison, or
they are massive fans of him?
Are they? Let's see.
It's a definite penalty. Right, here we go. Here comes the moment, ladies and gents. Will it be 2-0 Pompey, or will it be a miss from Ellis Harrison? Let's hope it's the prior. Here we go. Steps up, right-footed, straight down the middle, and that is 2-0 Pompey. Doubled his lead. We are absolutely ecstatic. Boom. There it is. It's a great penalty. And Brendan and Mike must be absolutely loving this. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Just let me update the scoreboard very quickly. And Brendan, very quickly from you, mate. Andrew's not going to be able to hear you, but a quick reaction. Go on.
Oh, the boy does it. I told you, get him on, he scores. Don't matter if it's from the spot.
Yeah. It's what I said. It's what I said. Come on.
Simple time.
That's brilliant. Love a bit of that. It is 2-0 Pompey. A very warm welcome if you're just joining us here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. We are now 2 to the good at Fratton. It's a freezing cold Fratton, but it's a wonderful night.
It's a lot warmer now, Tom.
It's a lot warmer now. A lot warmer now. And if you're just joining us, leave the stream a like, boys and girls, and subscribe as well if you're brand new. 65 minutes has been played and Pompey are 2-0 up, courtesy of an Ellis conversion from the penalty spot. Luckily, we can convert more than England can at the moment.
Cannon has been excellent, Bush.
He's superb, isn't he?
He is absolutely superb. Fair
2
play.
more to go in the next 25 minutes.
This
it could be 3. Ryan Williams in the box. He's not on his own. He's got Ellis Harrison as an option. Tries to find Byers, and there is Cannon. Scuffs his shot, and it'll be a goal kick. Great ball by Byers, that was. Superb play. And then it's cut back to Byers, who just lays it off. And Cannon, just don't know what happened there. What happened there, Ollie? Thank you, mate. I do need to do that.
Tried to put his laces through it and scuffed it, didn't he? Well, no, Jacket's mate decides to make another change.
Is he making another change? He can make 5. I'm not sure how many opportunities he has left.
Come on
this
in, lazy.
Could be another one. And call him lazy. He's just scored a penalty.
Yeah, I could have done that, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
You could have been everyone. You could be all over the pitch, mate. But yeah, no arguments with the penalty obviously from us, because there's not going to be, is there? But I don't think you can argue if you're a Swindon fan either. And Pompey leading 2-0, and it will be, you're not going to like this. Charlie Daniels has been retracted from proceedings, and it'll be Lee Brown who replaces him. Like for like swap would probably suggest a little bit of a knock, perhaps. I'm not quite sure why he'd be coming off otherwise.
No.
Before we discuss that, Adam, welcome to the stream. Popped in, mate. We've been superb. I think it's been all Pompey. They've hardly challenged Big Craig Mack in goal. Yeah, we're missing you, mate.
Nothing wrong with Charlie Daniels, mate. He's
maybe just 66 minutes, 34 years old, needs a bit of a rest, perhaps. He's had 3 games now on the trot. Rest him, we are winning, says Andrew. Hello to Chris Denham, listening in from Spain. Whereabouts in España are you listening to us, Cliff? We would love to know. Mickey said give him a rest. Got to look after him after his age. Yeah, absolutely. Bracket for Colgate promoter. One of the comments of the evening there from Angus. Manager tactics, players need their rest for so many games. Absolutely. At the tender age of 34 as well, which we know is not old at all.
not if you're Amy, it's not.
No, not at all. Cameron Jerome has made it 4-1 to MK Dons away from home for their game against Rochdale. And Rochdale are really struggling down at the bottom of League One, as are our opponents at Fratton Park this evening, Swindon Town. Hello to Dean Watson from Oz. Dean, be more specific, my son. Let us know where you join us from Australia. Are you in New South Wales? Are you in
North South Wales?
Yes. Are you in Perth? Are you in Darwin? Are you in
Darwin's right in the north,
less of the old? Sorry, Amy. We'll be less of the old.
Didn't mention it, Amy. Just
we didn't mention it at all. Right, here
you
comes.
You know how old you are, Amy.
Swindon Town, much younger than Andrew. Here is Matt Taylor. Matt Palmer. God, that takes you back a few years, doesn't it, Matt Taylor?
That's taking you back to when you were 2 years
I know.
old.
I wasn't 2, was I? A bit older than that.
3.
Wasn't that long ago, was it?
I bet it was.
Ellis Harrison is the goal scorer. Is the goal scorer for our team. He's really good. Scored a penalty, converted from the spot. Matty White, interestingly enough, I believe he is. Oh, please, if you could refrain from watching WhatsApp videos from your mates on the stream, that'd be great. There we go. See. No worries at all there. Matty Watson said current pitch temperature is 0.2 centigrade. Matty, I believe you're part of the fantastic ground staff or stewards that we've got there. Let us know. But thank you for joining in the stream. And it's pretty cold. It is pretty cold at Fratton Park. And the wind chill, as you say, -7 tonight. So it's freezing stuff. But it's warming the cockles of every Pompey fan's heart around the globe, as we can see this evening. And Callum Johnson has still got a shirt that's way too small for him on. And Pompey look to get back to winning ways. Just their second win in the last couple of games as Cannon mystically blazes through the defensive half of Swindon Town. Ellis Harrison, brilliant turn. George Byers on the strike, and it's blocked by Oda Mayo. And is that another penalty? No, it's not. The referee's giving it the other way.
That was Ronan, Tom.
Was that a foul, was it?
No, it was Ronan with the ball. It
was Byers.
No, him, Ronan.
Was it? I think you'll find it was George Byers, mate.
Watch it back then.
We will watch it back. Shrewsbury Town have taken the lead against Sunderland. It is 2-1, and the Wearside men will not be happy at all. Sean Raggett's won another header in a Pompey shirt. I'd love to know how many he's won as a total. I wonder if anyone's taken the time to count them. Andy Cannon has got Missalou for company. There's an interesting one from Aaron there, and hopefully it will appear on my screen so I can pop it on the stream for you, because I've just seen it pop up on YouTube. There we go. Hull versus Lincoln. So far, both teams 0 shots on target. One of those, bit like Liverpool, Man City. Two of the teams, well, it's nowhere near Liverpool, Man City, but we don't mind a 0-0. We don't mind 0 shots on target either. So there we go. But our game at Hull City, I don't think it is at Hull City this evening. It might be, but there were no shots on target. We still managed to come away with all 3 points and 2 goals. 2 goals in front of them. So there we go. 71 minutes now on the clock. I'm going to take a quick sip of water.
I'm not going to take back what I said about Williams, Tom. He's played better the second half. First half, he was woeful, but he's been a little bit better in the second half. Won that penalty for us, of course. Or when I say won that penalty, we got that penalty through his intuition. So let's say it like that.
Well, he got pushed over in the box.
The penalty, because you don't actually win a penalty. That's like saying you've cheated to win the foul, isn't it? But I think what you've done is intuition of being in the right place at the right time allowed them to foul us. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. Pompey's still with 60% of possession. Yeah, I think he's probably been frustrated with his first half performance to a certain extent, hasn't he, Ryan Williams?
Harris Harrison again tried to do the magical step over flick back, and there was about 4 Swindon players.
I don't think he's had a bad game so far.
He's going to be a bit more weight to life than that, mate. He ain't playing at Inter Milan or Juventus, is he?
That's a brilliant comment from Sean Meads. Pittman will only score tonight if he pops down the Guildhall Square. That's a brilliant comment. Good evening to Kevin.
How would you know that?
That's exactly what William just said. Yeah. Good evening to Kevin Brown. He said, just seen the score, been busy. Keep going. Pompey from snowy Essex. Kevin, you have weather warnings, my son, in snowy Essex. I hope all is well. And you have built plenty of Pompey snowmen in the last couple of days. Andy Cannon on the ball back here at Fratton Park. And it was George Byers who went in for the challenge, won the ball, but it ended up back at Swindon Town feet. And they are in possession with Thompson on halfway. It's a diagonal ball across the park, and Lee Brown will chest it down, control it. Andrew said, because Sean only charges that much. Let's leave this conversation there, shall we? It's a family show, gentlemen. 73 minutes on the clock now. Into the final sort of. You've tickled Andrew there, gents. So thank you for that.
Very funny that is.
It's a brilliant group of people on here, isn't it? Very funny.
The 4-0 family, we call
the
them.
4-0 fam, absolutely.
FNL.
The FNL.
FNL.
No, FNF.
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 That's
a Tesco shop clothing line, isn't it? Yeah.
FNF, yeah.
FNF. Absolutely. Or the FNC, the 4-0 crew. Okay, cool. What do we prefer, boys and girls? Comment down below. FNF or FNC? Or if you can think of a better one, then let us know. Or the Good Morning Andrew clan is another one. The GMAC.
Yeah.
I quite like GMAC.
GMAC.
We might go for that one.
GMAC is a car in America, isn't it?
Richard's jumped in with what happens at the square stays at the square. Thank you for that. Can't believe the level of comments going on here. Dreadful. I believe it's Swindon Town that have been caught by the offside trap there. And Alex is going for GMAC. I quite like a bit of that. The GMAC or the GMAC, the Good Morning Andrew crew. We might go with that one, Alex. We'll wait and see what other people are feeling. But if anyone could come up with a better one, let us know. 75 minutes has been played. Ellis Harrison wins a header. It's George Byers to chase, but that one will be dealt with quite nicely.
Ronan's trying to fall his way through.
He's trying to fall his way through, but he's not quite falling for him, is it?
Brilliant from Naylor. Brilliant from Byers.
Harrison, edge of the box. Byers, edge of the D, and the shot is wide.
What's the ref given? Corner?
No, he's first corner kick of the second half for Pompey, actually. Funnily enough.
Oh, is he giving a free kick to Byers?
No, he's giving a corner ball, I believe. We're into the final 15 minutes of this one now.
From Byers, Tom?
He's the guy from Swansea City that we've been blessed with.
He's on loan to the end of the season?
He's indeed, absolutely. Here comes the in-swing, and it requires the punch, actually. Back with Curtis to have a second shot at it. Oh, that would be a goal kick. Yeah. Harrison's saying
foul.
Yeah. Referee's not interested in that, and he just goes for the simple option of
Well, keeper did clatter him a bit.
He did a little bit. I wouldn't have thought that's not enough to not enough to legislate for a penalty there.
No.
Unfortunately. And I don't think the ref's been too bad this evening in terms of decision making. I would have been surprised if he hadn't given the pen in our favour. Here comes the ball up towards Ellis Harrison. He's just sort of running and hoping that it will fall for him. But that will be a free kick.
Get it, does he, very often?
He doesn't know. Well, I've been quite pleased with him since he's come on. I definitely think they've made a positive impact on the game. I don't think they've sort of come on and scored a goal, isn't he? Albeit a penalty. Swindon try and build again, but Andy Cannon will have something to say about that. He hoops one long and up towards the halfway line, and that's a header down from Christopher
Christopher, just call him Christopher.
Chris, from Big Chris.
Missisulo.
No, it's Missilu. Missilo. Oh, got some more fun ones to pronounce. Omotoye is coming on.
And Cadiz.
And it will be Hallam Hope who will be leaving the pitch. And Cadiz, as you say, will be coming on for the visitors. Swindon Town looking to shake things up a little bit and see if they can score while Pompey are caught off guard. And it will be Therese Omotoy will be coming on. And
how come we're allowed so many substitutes?
Yeah, it's gone up to 5, hasn't it?
Is that a new legislation just for COVID?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I don't quite know what it is. I think it's got something to do with the amount of games that are being played because of, it's not a direct impact of COVID, but the fact that we've had so many postponed. I think it is poor from Andy Cannon. He's 2 opportunities now that we've had a strike on goal, and Pompey haven't quite.
Real power on it. Was he one way, then next swiped his foot at it, put people in better positions. Again, we talked about that earlier. Don't be a hero. Give it to a teammate who can score the goal.
Absolutely. Sean has said Tom is 2-0 good enough against this opposition. It's good enough, but it's not what we deserve out of this one, I think, Sean. I think we've definitely legislated to slow much more than we've kind of received in this game. There have been plenty of opportunities in order to go 3 or 4 ahead, haven't they? Pompey have completely ruled the game. They've ruled it like a Donald Trump dictatorship, haven't they, today? And I say that because it's quite topical at the moment. I don't know if you've seen he's being investigated today.
Yeah,
Mr. Trump. And as I say that, we have given the ball away to Swindon. And there's just 12 minutes of regulation time to be played. But yeah,
here's a chance.
Here is a chance. And we'll get back to Sean's question in a moment. Ryan Williams driving into the edge of the box. He goes down again, and that's not going to be a penalty. It's going to be a goal kick because he did go down like a sack of you-know-what. Andrew, is 2-0 good enough for you against this opposition?
Not really, Tom. Teams like this, we've got to get the advantage because we're going to come up against tougher teams that we aren't going to get scored.
Bit of goal difference, perhaps,
yes,
seeing as the league's so tight.
Tougher teams that we could easily draw against or even lose by the odd marginal goal. So I think we've got to get a gap between the goal differences. This would be a helpful game to get some. Another couple.
It's interesting.
Last 10, 15 minutes, I think.
It's interesting to note that Craig McGilvery has pretty much not made a save all game, apart from, well, he didn't make the save then, but when who was it that hit the post?
Was from the post, yeah.
Yeah, and that was about it, wasn't it? He's I did say earlier on
corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did say earlier on that he had an opportunity to perhaps watch a podcast or something, but
Raggett's decides to put that out. This is what I'm saying about a better player than Raggett there. A better player like Charlie Daniels would have taken that and kept the ball in. He wouldn't have just lumped it into the stand and give the ball back to them. When you do that, that puts you under a lot of pressure again, doesn't it? They got the ball again in our half. Well, they wouldn't have done had you cleared it properly. This is that concerns me about it. The guys does some good stuff, but he does some donkey stuff. And a good, great player for me is somebody that does it well all the time, like Charlie Daniels.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on there, actually. It's not the first time we've been spot on. Well, is it quite hot in here, or is it just me?
No, it's fine.
The heating's on because it's freezing outside.
It is freezing outside.
It is freezing outside. Plenty of layers needed tonight, and hopefully we will be layering on to the scoreline in the last 10 minutes as we now. That was quite bad, wasn't it? As we head in to the final 10. And whatever's added on as stoppage time, which shouldn't be an awful lot, to be honest. We've been playing quite a lot of football this evening, which I know sounds, you know what I'm trying to say, though. We play football every evening, but there hasn't been sort of stop-start, little niggly fouls, etc. Is there?
No.
Quite a lot of substitutions, perhaps, but they've all been sort of swiftly done, haven't they? So I wouldn't have thought too much will be added on. As Sean Raggett traipses over in order to deal with this one, and he almost...
It does it again.
Yeah, he was under a little bit of pressure. They're trying to avoid the corner, wasn't he?
Tip it over the guy then.
Ronan Curtis now fires one long, and that is probably the worst ball he's going to play all evening. And Pompey 2 goals to the good this evening as the Swindon Town number 16, Akin Wale Odimeo, throws the ball in, and he's now got it back at his feet. He opts to go back to his keeper, Mark Tavers.
No one's put the keeper under pressure. Marcus would have done that. He'd been on him like a car bonnet.
I agree. He probably would have been. Not a lot of problems being caused by either side. The referee's going to blow up. He's going to need... George Byers is going to need a little bit of treatment there. He's holding his calf. I think he's going to be all right to continue. Referee puts his hand up to... stop the Pompey physio from coming on. Looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. He's sort of, I don't know what happened there, to be honest. A little bit of an awkward land, perhaps. Jack Payne's coming off to be replaced by Scott Twin.
Who's their best player?
Twine or Twin? Twine with an E on the end.
I'd have said who's their best player.
We have been saying that all evening, haven't we? He's looked all right. So, Andrew, who has... Well, it's a little bit early to go for man of the match, but we'll go for it anyways. Aaron's asking.
Aaron, my man of the match so far, I would say, is... I think Andy Cannon.
Again?
I know we're going on about Andy Cannon, but he's been exceptional all night long, mate. Exceptional. Look at that again from him.
That's Curtis there.
No,
now Cannon.
Before that, Cannon to Curtis.
Probably not the best ball there. I agree with you.
It would have been a good ball if Harrison
I
agree.
agree. But I'm thinking that I wouldn't have said Andy Cannon's had his best performance in a Pompey shirt this evening. There've been a couple of...
Look at his granddad.
Yeah, he's quite old, isn't he? There've been a couple... Say that's horrible. I'm sure he's no older than 34. There's been a couple of opportunities tonight that Cannon has just completely scuffed, and I know we all have those days, don't we? And he's still an exceptional player, but I wouldn't have thought it's a man of the match performance because Pompey have had some excellent talent on display tonight. I think Marcus Harness has done incredibly well. Ellis Harrison's done well since he's come on as well.
Oh, come on, done nothing apart from scored a pen.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
I'll have it out with Brendan.
Oh, here we go.
Because
boys and girls, stick around post-match because there's a lot of... He
doesn't do enough, Tom. He doesn't work hard enough. He doesn't move quickly enough. He doesn't get in front of his players the way he should.
I might actually go for Ronan Curtis as my man of the match.
I think Ronan's done really, really well. But I've got to say Cannon for me has been the best on the... Oh, that's not a good ball.
It's not a good ball. Cannon, but Daniels, before he came off, you forget, don't you? Charlie Daniels did have an exceptional night. Richard, you're off to work, mate. That's late. Off to work at 9 o'clock. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for joining us, as ever. Lovely to see Richard in the stream. Wrap up warm if you're out and about, Richard, because it's absolutely Baltic. Do you remember?
Richard going to the Guildhall Square?
Do you remember? Well, we might be. He might be off to work.
Yeah,
there's connotations of work.
Yeah.
I was going to say to you, what was I going to say to you? Do you remember when we were at Coventry?
I'm just saying,
last
Harrison
year,
doesn't
this
try
time.
hard enough for me. He's lazy, in my view. It's half-hearted all the time.
I agree with lazy. I do, because we saw it in person at the Fleetwood game, didn't we? He was
a lot of running around and no real sort of... Marcus is always on it, isn't he? And he works extremely hard. And I'd just like to see that in this guy because he's got the ability. He's just
a very good player, isn't he?
He's just lazy.
Oh, Brett Pitman is still on the pitch, by the way.
He hasn't touched the ball this half, but he is on the pitch.
Well, he did just then, but he lost a header. So And say how much you would say that that's a winning of the ball, perhaps. But anyway, you join myself and Andrew for the final 5 minutes of this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give man of the match. No, offside. How can you find yourself offside there? I'm going to give man of the match to Andy Cannon, and the other 50%, half of it to Andy Cannon, the other half to Ronan Curtis. Because I can't choose between the two, and they've both been excellent.
And Charlie Daniels must have a shout as well.
Yeah, I expect that of Charlie Daniels, though. I expect that. It's team players that
Oh, Pittman chested it down. Yeah, he has put on an awful lot of weight. He's got some incredibly tight shorts on as well, Brett Pittman.
They aren't his, Tom.
No, they probably belong to Ronan Curtis.
Yeah.
Here comes the throw-in on the far side for Swindon Town. And Dominic Thompson he's
got a serious throw in him.
Apparently he's got a serious throw in him by the looks of things. He's not well, it's not the biggest throw, is it? And Cannon with the sweep away in the direction, cannonballed away, and Ellis Harrison plays the clever ball back to Andy Cannon, who's just had a bit of a
just over his
head. If that was Ellis Harrison, you would have said, "Oh, he's rubbish."
I wouldn't say that, Tom. I'm just making the point that is brilliant from Brown, isn't it? He's given a free kick.
Given a free kick for it, and he's just nuts him as well. Omotoye.
That's Cadiz. He likes it, doesn't he?
Cadiz does. He's the granddad. Cadiz. He looks quite old.
He's getting at it, though.
He is getting at it, but you can tell why he's only been brought on with sort of a couple of minutes to go. You wouldn't have thought he'd be able to grind out a 90-minute onslaught at Fratton Park. It's not a bad delivery, and it's the shot, and oh my word, just over the crossbar from the Swindon Town number 10, Twine, who's just come on. Still 2-0 Pompey. It's
ball from Swindon then as well.
Well, it just glanced on. It's actually incredible how it didn't actually touch the crossbar. Craig McGilvery didn't touch it. Whether he was meaning to do that or not, I'm not sure. But only a couple of minutes left in this one, and apart from that slight little scare for Pompey, it's looked pretty conclusive in terms of defensively. We haven't leaked much water tonight, have we?
No.
It's probably a bad analogy to use, but I'm sure you all know what I'm getting at. It's got to be quicker to that. Sean Raggett, for me, has got to get there quicker. Lee Brown now. It's been laid off to Jordan Garrick, who's going to try and get past Lee Brown. He opts to play it to Matt Palmer. Cannon was snapping at his heels there. He managed to get that one away.
Pressure, Pompey. Come on.
It is pressure. It's done well. Here comes the ball from Caddis, and it's a bad one, but eventually Tom Naylor is his own worst enemy, actually. He concedes a corner for Pompey. Hello to Stacky, who said, really hope Pompey get promoted this season. When you came out to Grimsby on a Tuesday night to visit Grimsby as a Cracket game. Top class fans. Thank you very much indeed for that, mate. And if you're new,
EFL, what's that?
I'm not going to repeat what it means, but we'll up the something. I'll explain after the stream. But thank you for joining us. And if you're new, please do subscribe to the channel and leave us a like as well if you've enjoyed the stream so far. As the corner comes in, and luckily Byers is there to get out to him. Ball goes back in. Ellis Harrison with a kick away. I think he would have been offside there if he had run onto it. The Swindon Town attacker there. Curtis is late to that one. He's going to work hard to try and win it back, and that ball's sent in. Shouldn't be too much of a trouble, but it is down in the box, and there's no one there from a Swindon Town point of view. And Ellis Harrison is actually down there doing some defensive duties. He's giving it straight back to him, and Jordan Garrick with a gifted opportunity there.
It's a good job it's not 1-0, isn't it?
It is a good job it's not 1-0. We are almost in minute 90 now. It's a terrible, terrible ball back to Ellis Harrison, and Lee Brown's left with no option really but to concede the corner. And this will be Matt Palmer who will take this one for Swindon Town. We are now into stoppage time. There will be 3 minutes of additional time to play, and Ellis Harrison deals with that corner much more conclusively than he did the previous Swindon Town attack. But the ball will be sent back in, and that one will be quite an easy one for, I believe, who was that? I'm not sure who that was for Pompey who won it, but we won it nonetheless. Andy Cannon now with a spin on the ball. He can't quite play in Naylor. And again, Swindon pick it up through Twine. He will have plenty of ground to make up, but the ground he does make up, he's done well there. And Ryan Williams has nicked it back off him. Half a minute of the 3 played. Ball is now on this near side. Lee Brown touches the ball, slows it down, plays it off to Curtis, who eventually finds Sean Raggett, who plays a dangerous ball, but he probably knows the pace of Brett Pittman, and he knows, well, he doesn't know. Again, it's either strategic brilliance or a bit of, I don't know, whatever you want to make of it. But Sean Raggett's dealt with it nonetheless, and the ball is back with Craig McGilvery, who fires one long up Fratton Park. We need to get through these next 10 games. Then our 8 of the last 10 are all teams in the bottom half of the table. Well, to be honest, Jack, the next few games are, I suppose we've got Doncaster in the mix there and Sunderland as well. But apart from that, and Oxford, I believe, they are pretty easy games. We're going to Northampton. We've got a game against Crewe and Bristol Rovers. Crewe are kind of up in and around there, aren't they? With a couple more games played than the rest of the teams around them. But it's going to be a nice.
Brown.
It's going to be a nice end to the season. Well, it should be a nice end to the season for Pompey. I know teams above us have got to play each other, and one of those examples is this evening.
Harrison again.
And here comes Harvey White, who will be replacing Andy Cannon for these last minute and a half.
Tired. He's lethargic, walking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm taking that man of the match off him.
Lot of upset Pompey fans, Oscar and Joe. Justice for Geordie. I don't think we'll be seeing him this evening.
Who's Geordie?
Geordie Huula.
Oh, right, yeah.
Who's Geordie? You've been paying attention, haven't you? Here's Harvey White's first touch on the ball.
Harrison, then again, what a waste of space. Sorry, mate. Brandon, I hope you listen.
He's not a waste of space, is he? 30 seconds left in this one now. It's looking like a Pompey 2-0 win.
Put a decent striker in there.
Anyway, White tries to get Harrison away, and so much free Geordie coming on in the comments. Oscar's jumping on that boat, as is Matt. And I like your dad. He is so cool. Thanks for that, Stevie. He's a cool dad, aren't you, mate?
I am, mate. Yeah,
a cool dad.
I've been known to be cool. I've been known to be fucking freezing tonight.
It's cold. It's cold. Lee Brown, Ronan Curtis, and the ball is back with Harvey White, and the referee will very shortly be blowing up for full time. I think that one is coming. Yes, it is. There we go. There is the full time whistle. Andrew, what did you make of that?
Should have got more, Tom. I think they were a very, very poor Swindon side. I can't see them staying in this league, mate. They look terrible, don't they? I'm not being rude, but that's probably the worst team I've seen play at Fratton Park this season, really.
All right.
And we should have made more of it.
Worse than AFC Wimbledon?
Yeah, I think so. I think Wimbledon gave more than they did tonight. Showed some heart. They don't look like they've just went in this last 10 minutes or so, the last 3 or 4 minutes rather, put a bit of pressure on, didn't they? But the changes we made, I don't think we obviously started with the strongest team. I've got to say, Tom, Harrison for me, other than the penalty, did nothing all night, and we can get Brendan back on there, and we'll have a discussion about it. But I think personally, I think it's a good win. Obviously, we needed a couple more to be more convincing.
Okay,
I'd like to have seen Geordie being released.
Yes, absolutely. Justice for Geordie. That next. Right. I am going to release my ear, and we are going to speak to Aaron first. Good evening, mate. Once again, big 3 points. What did you make of that?
Yeah, glad we got the win. Needed the win. Shame Geordie didn't come on. I would have had him on rather than Harrison. I think Kenny should have done the same with Curtis, just dropped him completely for a couple of games to get his confidence back so he's fighting. But I would have had that Geordie on. Glad we got the 3 points. Table's looking very interesting because there's a nice little gap there now between us. We are now still in 5th, I think it is. But even from Sunderland, I think they're about 5 points behind us, I think now. But it's getting very, very tight and claustrophobic at the top. So anything can happen. Yeah, but I'm very impressed. But I wasn't too impressed with Harrison, though. Not at all. I think he should actually be dropped for at least a couple of games. But Curtis, hat off to Curtis. He done really, really well tonight because he wasn't on form, and Kenny dropped him, and he's fought his way back into the side. I know Jacobs has got that little niggle at the moment, but we've got to be careful because the amount of games that we've got now, Saturday and Tuesday each week until virtually the end of the season. So we need that squad rotation, and that Geordie needs to come on, especially as we're playing the lower end of the table teams as well, just to get his confidence up. Because when we do play Doncaster in a few weeks, we're going to need people like him to actually come out and make a statement, because Ferguson's actually going to realise our players and everything. So we just need him to come out and be a super sub and get a couple of goals, but he needs that confidence behind him. But I would also drop.
Good night, Russ.
I know it sounds a bit mad, but I think Harness needs to have a little bit of a break. Just get some other people on at the front. Williams is not 100%, I don't think either. But I would change the title at the moment.
Noticed that Ryan Williams wasn't quite at the metal, Andrew, you mentioned as well.
I just didn't think he had a good game, and I think he's a better player than he was tonight.
For week on, I can confirm that Pompey are currently sitting 4th in the league. It did finish at Hull City at the KCOM. It was 0-0 this evening, which is probably the result that Pompey would have wanted. They are obviously still playing in the game between Doncaster Rovers and Fleetwood Town, and in just a moment we will get the league table up for you. Aaron, is this a good sign of things to come, mate, in the next couple of weeks? We've got a big couple of games coming up.
Yeah, I think it is. We've played all the teams around us except for Doncaster. We've got Sunderland as well to come, but we just need to get the wins now from the lower teams in the league. We need to go on that run. Like I said the other week, we need at least 24 points out of the 30 for our next 10 games. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. We do it against Plymouth on Saturday. We could have nicked the win if they just passed the ball, and we could have nicked that goal at the last. Plymouth fans were going into meltdown on Twitter on Saturday. But we just need to come out. We need to do the squad rotation because the games are thick and fast, and especially with this weather, the slightest knock could knock them out for weeks, and we can't afford that. So if the players are looking tired, get them off, get new fresh legs on, and we just need to go on this run now and start winning games. But very impressed with the setups today. They come out strong, they come out fighting, which is good, but it's a shame that we just didn't get the goals. So I think Marquis might need to have a little bit of a rest for the next game, just so see someone else, so then he's fighting for his position. Because like I said a couple of games ago, I think Lincoln and some of the players they know that they're playing week in, week out in them positions. They have to be fighting for their positions. Like Curtis tonight, you could see he was dropped. He wanted to be on that pitch. He wanted to score. And I'm so glad he did score, because he's made a point now saying, look, I am here. I am wanting the fight. So hopefully his attitude's changed, and hopefully it will rub off on some of the other players. But we did miss Jacobs tonight. Especially if you've got Daniels, Jacobs and Curtis all in them sort of that left side. That's phenomenal. Absolute phenomenal.
Aaron, thank you for that, mate. And I believe that this is now the start of something big for Pompey. It is big time, absolutely. And what we'll do now, we'll just have a quick look at the table before we go to Alex. We're then going to speak to Richard, and then we'll end with Brendan and Mike as well. But Aaron, it's been a pleasure to have you on this evening, mate. And
no worries.
What I'll just say to you, Aaron, you'll probably understand this more than others, but the 4-0 family are always here for you, mate, and we appreciate your company as always.
Yeah, cool. No worries. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
Have a good night, mate. Speak to you soon. That was Aaron who joined us. And very quickly, ladies and gents, let's take a look at the League One table. Here we go then. Lincoln City up there on top spot. 26 games played now, 52 points. Doncaster Rovers are in a really good position, aren't they? Pompey with a game in hand on Hull City. They sit behind them, 48 points. You could argue that it's been an all right night for the boys in blue. Peterborough United, I believe, are still playing against Ipswich Town. I haven't seen the result there yet. Sunderland and Charlton make up 6th and 7th place. Let's speak to Alex, who joins us now. 2-1 Peterborough full time, was it? Right, best news, is it?
How are we, chaps?
We're very good, mate. Sorry. What did you make of that?
Yeah, great. I mean, it's good, mate. 3 points, and Peterborough turning Turning up as usual. They usually do when we do well. They don't seem to slip up, but Sunderland slip up, which is always nice to see. But yeah, 3 points. That's all we need. We just need Fleetwood to somehow beat or draw against Donny now, don't we?
That would be nice, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I'm not positive. After we went and did Fleetwood, Donny probably will be able to do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, just to say, I said it to Aaron just a moment ago, but do you feel like this is the start of something big for Pompey? Is this now the run-in that we need? And is this the run of games that's going to do it for us, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say, isn't it? You never really know with Pompey. We can turn up one week and then be terrible the next. But if we can get a few games together now and just push on, then that's all we need to do. We just need to focus on ourselves. As I was saying before the game, we can't make Donny lose unless we beat him. So we just need to make sure we don't let them take 3 points off us when we play them. But yeah, it's going to be tight. It's just we need to do our bit, don't we?
Yeah, it's in a couple of weeks, isn't it? And it's one to very much look forward to. Alex, just in terms of automatic promotion, it's so congested at the moment, and we know every game counts massively. Is it sort of a bit of not a blessing in disguise, but just a blessing in general that Pompey have now got quite a few decent games to play against the lesser sides in the division, whereas quite a few of the ones at the top are going to be playing each other, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's good. And it shows tonight with Hull and Lincoln playing as a stalemate, and that's good for us. We need teams like around us to be drawing against each other. But yeah, we've played a lot of the big teams. We've done really well this season, which we haven't been able to say previously, really. So it's a bit of a turn up for the books, but you know what we're like. If we'll go in the playoffs again this year, and then we'll lose to the teams we've already beaten this season. That's the Pompey way. But yeah, I think that we just need to obviously focus on what we're doing, hope that the results go our way, and then could be in a good place. How did you boys make of the game?
Well, funny that no one really asks us that. Yeah, I thought it was all right. I just want to quickly add to everyone watching. I stand corrected. Pompey are 5th, not 4th.
Yeah.
What happened there was I very frantically made the overlay quickly, and I didn't quite give myself enough time to refresh the page. So that's what happened there. Schoolboy error by me. I do apologise. Pompey are 5th. Andrew, I'll relay the question that Alex has just asked you. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, I thought it was all right, Tom. I thought the first half was a lot better than the second half, if I'm honest. A few of the changes in made disrupted the rhythm of the play a little bit, I thought. Not impressed with Harrison up front, and Brendan's going to have a right old go in a minute with his dad. But I did.
Just watching him backstage is funny.
We've got this thing about Brendan and his dad think that Harrison's something special, and I'd like your view on that. Can you back me up a little bit, perhaps?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that special. I know a lot of the guys from home that are Bristol Rovers fans, and they liked him there. And to be fair, he does do a job at times, but he's not consistently good enough. We go up this season, he's not going to be good enough, and I stand by that.
And me too, I agree with you, yeah.
Just one more to throw at you, Alex. I'll pretty much relay Joe's question to you, but the impact that Daniels has had on the team's confidence and how much better we're looking since he's been starting in the side.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's similar to almost like when Seddon came in. I think Seddon's obviously like the young, Lee Brown's the old, and Charlie Daniels seems to be slotting in the middle, which is nice because he adds a bit going forward and also at the back. And I think he adds more than Lee Brown going forward, especially. I mean, Lee Brown's done enough for us, and he's a good character in the changing room. I think that's the main perk of Lee Brown. But if they can rotate, he can come on when it needs to be, because obviously they're both getting on a little bit. I think it's a good position for us to be in, much better than obviously trying to stick someone like Hadji at left back and stuff like that. It's much nicer to have two left-footed, good ball playing players at that left back position.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's interesting, Daniels. We said many months ago, and we're saying for weeks, we haven't had a leader, a talker on the pitch. I don't think we had one in the dressing room, frankly. And Daniels, you can see him get in the group huddle and talking to the players. He was the guy leading the talk, wasn't he? And we've been saying that we needed somebody to talk to people, and a good, solid, experienced head like his. He played for Bournemouth, I think, in the Championship, maybe in the Premier League, I think.
I mean, he scored Bournemouth's first goal in the Premier League against Man City. That's screamer.
That's the knowledge we need.
I mean, he's been there and he's done it, and that's something that a lot of the players obviously haven't. I think Naylor obviously does throw himself around, but I think he's not quite the leader that potentially Daniels might be. But yeah, I think you're definitely right there, and obviously Craig has a big voice, but he's at the back. So yeah, it's good to have someone who's running up and down the line.
Yeah, and it's also good to have you on the stream, Alex. Thank you very much indeed for that. We will see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And have a good evening, chaps.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. And that was Alex. And before we move on to Richard, I'm going to throw this one at him straight away from Leo Swad, who has said the depth of our team is going to see us through. Other teams will tie with the relentless schedule. Richard, I was asked a while ago by Mr. Alex Griffin who I thought was going to go up. And I argued that the longevity of sides such as Sunderland, Ipswich and Pompey will pull through. Looking at the table, it's not looking likely, is it? But how much do you agree with the comment on the screen? What do you make of that?
Yeah, definitely. I say with the introduction of Daniels, I say, bringing the strong players in, we've got buyers, we've got the strength now, haven't we, to do the squad rotation. I think today's game, I think when Daniels went off, I think that's it. The back four lost its shape straight away. Raggett, careless clear outs. He's obviously just got the hoofball again.
He would have equalised against Doncaster Rovers, so that does change things.
There's still plenty of time left.
Sorry to interrupt, Richard, but I thought that was a bit of news.
Richard, can I ask you, before I forget, one question I'd like to ask you, because Brendan and his dad are listening in. What do you think of Harrison's performance tonight?
Apart from the goal, which anybody could have scored, disappointing. His first touch, it's just like kicking a ball against the wall. You don't know where the ball's going to go on the rebound. And I think looks very lethargic when he's playing, very half-hearted in the efforts, to go up for a header. Quick to go down. I think Ahula for next week to come on.
Agree.
I reckon Cannon needs a rest because the work he's got is absolutely phenomenal, box to box. But he tired by the end.
On 80 minutes when he was tired out.
Yeah, now it gives buyers a chance to sneak in that place. We then get to see a better look at him, and I say Daniel's buyers and that in the starting 11 for Saturday. I think we go on, and get another win, at the weekend. But he needs to make that change, and not bring him on, the 70th minute, because we're not actually getting to see them, because the way we played in the second half, certainly once Daniels had gone off, wasn't fantastic football really.
Stick around to see what Brendan and his dad say about Harrison, please. Can we get 3 on the screen?
Of course, Tom? We can. We can get 3 on the screen.
Oh my word!
Okay then, guys. Tell us how good he is.
To start off with, well done to Ellis Harrison. Well, if I'll be honest, yes, anyone can score a penalty. I'll give you that. But to say he say that's all he done, I'd have to disagree, because he does a lot more than Marquis. He won more headers than Marquis has ever done in a game. And that's just the second half performance. He laid off and shielded the ball a lot more than Marquis does. So I don't see where you go that Marquis is better than him. I will give you one thing though. I would love to say, and I said it the other day, I'd love to see Harrison and Ahula playing together.
He's got to be given the chance, definitely.
Yeah. We're all there on Ahula, I think. Yeah. Right. And I think they will feed off each other. I think they'll play well. It'll be like Crouchy and Courtney Pitt, won't it? Oh yeah, remember those days?
Okay.
Can I just say that I think tonight our defence was immense.
Yeah.
They were really good. All right. It wasn't just a clean sheet. They commanded everything, I think. You were right about... Yeah. Pittman didn't get a sniff, and I don't think their other guy got much of one. There was a couple of long-range shots that came in, and one glanced the post, as we saw. I just think, Daniels, you're right. He does bring more to the team, I think, than Lee Brown. Lee Brown seems to go sideways and backwards. And only when he runs past Curtis does he want to get the ball forward and cross the ball in. I think Charlie Daniels is a lot more calculating and experienced, as you say, for wanting to get the ball forward or into the places where it needs to go. I think Brown is too sideways and backwards. But I think Raggett was immense tonight. I don't think you should drop Bolton just because Jack Watmore's ready. I think they should all fight for their places, and that's what we should be doing.
Would you want to see Jack in the side somewhere, Mike?
Well, yeah, he has. I remember a time when he played midfield.
Yeah, when he first started playing as a
yeah, he did. He was centre midfield. But then again, do you want to upset Naylor and Cannon, or even Byers and White, whatever? I mean, no, I do like Jack. Don't get me wrong. I actually know his uncle. I worked with his uncle, and I do like Jack. And he's a boy. He's our boy.
Yeah, one of our own.
Yeah, one of our own. Like we've had a few people, and I just think Bolton's done tremendously since he's been in, and I think we ought to support him. Give him a bit more confidence.
Richard, would you swap Sean Raggett out for Jack Watmore when he's ready to come back?
No, I know. The shaking of the head. I think Jack brings something else to the team, doesn't he? Raggett. Every time I see Raggett on the ball, it's like, it's that sort of cringe-worthy. What's he going to do?
Fleetwood Town 2, Doncaster 1. And it's just pinged up on my phone. That is big news.
Ain't over yet, though, boys.
Even better, it's not Joey Blunt in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what you get with Raggett as well, he's the watcher. He will go in strong challenge. He'll win a ball.
Harrison scored for Fleetwood. Brendan, Ellis Harrison scored for Fleetwood. I said Ellis Harrison scored for Fleetwood.
That'll be good.
Again, that's all the Marquis can do.
But just as well, about changing things around, if we are to change around the back four, you can't drop Johnson either. If you want to keep Bolton in the team, you can't drop Johnson. He's been like our Mr. Consistent, because he doesn't get slagged off and he doesn't sort of get the plaudits, probably that accolades, because he doesn't get the plaudits that he probably should deserve.
Question to I think we're in a very, for the first time in a long time, we're in a very, very opportune moment in our team selection where we've got clear, great players in every position that we can actually swap them in as quickly as we like. Take out Harrison out the way and put Huolio in, maybe Marcus, maybe whatever you're going to do and which way you're going to mix it up. We've got great players in every position. And Kenny's been very clever, we think, over the years by not getting promoted just because personally, I believe he wants another year on his contract, and then he's got that now, and this is the end of his contract, so he's got to do it this season. They've switched it up a little bit, all the players they want, and this is the season where I think we will get promoted, guys. I don't have any doubt of that, but how we do it, I don't know. But it's going to be
how we get there.
But we've got the great players that we can swap. You could change your 11 players almost, couldn't you? Almost. And still have a good side, So interesting. I don't know, Richard, you were saying just before that what you thought of the team tonight, so team changes and selections.
I think with what we started, was good. I say, Williams certainly came on better in the second half than what he was in the first half. Back four, solid. Midfield again, solid. I just think, I was right with my substitution. With Marcus going off. I thought that was, I think the only thing I got wrong today was that Swindon didn't actually score. So I would have got the.
Well, that's not a bad thing to get wrong.
But it is that. We're solid, but you can just see, with Cannon, like I mentioned, he's getting tired. Working that midfield are working so hard. It's easy. We seem to be rotating anybody on the left and right hand side, but then seem to focus the people in the centre. The people who are the workhorses really of the team. And I think give Cannon the rest, give Byers a chance, and then and we push on. I think in light of watching Curtis, he played well today. So it was in.
Can I ask Richard? Richard, what do you think that we should play Harness and Williams together, or do you think they're two similar sort of players and we should, get them to have that competition between them, like I've said the last couple of times?
I think we need the competition, don't we? I think you can't play them together. Far too similar, and I think it's. I don't know. I think there's times when you see them together. They do play well. But I think with today, you just if a player is sort of off form slightly, I think it sort of is a knock-on effect then, to the other one. So I think get one of them out and then make them fight, for that team. At least then we've got that rotation, and to the strength then in depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Andrew's just going to quickly say goodnight to you, and then we're going to very quickly have a look at the table. If you both stay there for just 1 second, and we'll discuss that in a moment. Au revoir.
Good night, chaps. Nice to talk to you. Look
And
forward to Saturday. See how well
Saturday.
Ellis plays.
Yeah.
Right. Let's take a look at the league table then.
Cheers.
Right, that looks interesting, doesn't it? Lincoln City at the top, and now 49 for Hull, 49 for Peterborough, 48 for Pompey. Doncaster there on 48 too, and then there's a little bit of a gap there, a bit of respite to Charlton Athletic in 6th position. Right, gentlemen, that looks interesting, doesn't it? And if things stay the way they are at the Highbury Stadium in Fleetwood, obviously not Arsenal or near Pompey, then we could be looking at something of a decent evening's work for Pompey. Richard, what's your immediate reaction to that?
It's actually closer than what I thought, actually. With regards to the points, only just the 1 point in it. So it's positive. Let's get the win on Saturday, and hopefully we can jump into second. If that's possible, depending on see how the other two get on.
And Brendan and Mike, there's still a couple of games that Doncaster have in hand on pretty much everyone around them. We are now a game behind Hull City as well, who are opponents above us. What is it too early to draw conclusions from a table looking like that with the amount of what's it clubs that are kind of in there because they've played more games?
Yeah, looking at Doncaster, you say 2 games. After they finish this one, it's only 1 game.
No, that's including this game.
Oh, sorry, including this game. Sorry, I do apologise.
2 games, though, isn't it?
That's why I'm trying to look at the table at the same time. But yeah, it's still a game. It's still 3 points more than what potentially that they'll have more than us. I think yes, it's too early to call anything at this moment in time. We've only just gone past halfway. We've got a long way of the season to go. We can keep this run going now. Now we've got this 1 win. After that, come back 2-2. We need to push on in our next few games and score some more points. Let's just keep them coming. If we do that, I think we'll be in good stead.
Brilliant. Thank you to William for joining us. Boys and girls, I know I say that phrase too much, so sorry for that, but you cannot beat the Pompey Worldwide Show. Absolutely you can't. And these 3 gentlemen have been an absolute pleasure to have on as well. Chaps, we're going to leave it there for the night because it's been nearly 3 hours now and I desperately need to go to the loo again. So have a fantastic evening, all 3 of you, and we will see you on Saturday.
Take care. See you Saturday.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Bye.
Still to come here for you on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Crew Alexandra make the trip. We make the trip to Crew Alexandra to play them at their place, and then it's Bristol Rovers on the road too. Blackpool make the journey down to the South Coast to play us on the 20th of March. Our coverage begins from 2:30. Then it's Oxford United at the Cassam, followed by Gillingham at home. Then a trip to South Yorkshire to play Doncaster Rovers on the 2nd of March. Join us from 6:30. Then it's Northampton Town away from home. And then probably one of the biggest fixtures of the season. It'll be interesting to see how pivotal it is when we get there. But Pompey versus Sunderland is live here on Fournilwrittenalloverit on the 9th of March from 6. And then straight after that Saturday, the 13th of March, we are heading off to this place. Wembley Stadium awaits for the EFL Trophy final of last year. Portsmouth. Sorry, I said that really weird then, didn't I? Portsmouth versus Salford City is live here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Thank you very much indeed to everyone for joining us. And that is it from us. What a consummate performance that was from Pompey. And at the moment, 4th in the table, a point behind 2nd and 3rd, with a game in hand on 2nd. It's all looking all right, isn't it? Keep the faith. See you on Saturday. And of course, play out Pompey. Bye-bye for now.